Hello, Emily,
Hello, Maggie.
and welcome to our first ever episode of My Sister's Favorite Movie Podcast.
Woo!
Woo! So,
So, this is our first episode ever,
yes,
and that is very exciting.
agreed. And to get us started off, I think we should start with introductions. And Emily, why don't you kick us off?
For sure. So, I'm Emily. I'm 27. Maggie and I are sisters. I live in New York, and I am a writer. I've written about everything like fashion, beauty. Now I do wellness. And I am a movie girly and lover and have been my whole life. And I have a lot of favorite movies, but we can talk about that in a second. Maggie, tell us about you.
Cool. I'm Maggie. I am the older sister. Um, I am an artist, full-time artist now. I started my career working at Disney in the costume development department, and then worked for Rifle Paper Company and the Savannah College of Art and Design, and now I'm full-time on my own. And I also love movies, and being the older sister, I have passed down tons of movies to Emily, and that's why I'm excited to start this podcast is because we already love talking about movies. So I think that might lead us into your next question.
Yeah, I was going to say we talked about this a little bit before, like when deciding to start the podcast. So we have movies that overlap that we both love, we have movies that we love on our own. I feel like you have a broader taste in movies. Like I love a rom-com, a girly pop movie, and I don't stray too far from that often. I feel like you like a more variety, and you're always trying to get me to watch movies and then I won't watch them. And so this is a test for me to actually watch all the movies that you want me to watch. But that
I
being
know. I'm
said,
excited.
I think we should talk about what some of our favorite movies are. So, do you want to kick us off? What are your favorite movies?
Yeah, like I'm excited to do this podcast because Emily is stubborn with movies. And I'll be
Mm,
like, oh, I want you to watch Miss Congeniality, which is one of my
nope.
favorites. And she won't watch it,
Pass.
but she will on this podcast. So I'm excited for that. And like Moonstruck, can't wait for Emily to watch that too.
Are those your favorites?
No, I'm just like teasing you. So I think some of my favorite movies are definitely the Nancy Meyers. Like I love You've Got Mail, It's Complicated, Something's Gotta Give, Father of the Bride. Like those are like my go-to comfort movies. What about you?
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies?
Those are all definitely up there. I think I can't say my favorite movies without saying Devil Wears Prada, Avida, which you and I just saw the second one together, which was iconic. But
It was so good.
that like cohort of films I love, like Devil Wears Prada, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, 13 Going on 30, like all the movies of like the fashion magazine girlies that made me who I am today. Like those are my favorites. And then also Father of the Bride, obviously iconic. And then Pride and Prejudice, the Keira Knightley version, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. I feel like those are my favorites, but then I also love like more of a comedy moment. I don't know why, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall is coming to mind. Like we love that movie.
Yeah.
That movie's so good. So like I love movies like that. We were just talking about Grown Ups 3 is in the works, which we're excited about. So
Oh my
our
God.
love of
And
film
it's summertime.
spans.
It's summertime, so it's almost time for me to change my phone background to Adam Sandler and David Spade going down the water slide because it's water slide summer. Woo!
That's me and Maggie every summer going down the water slide, holding on
Hmm.
to each other's toes.
I can't wait.
It's so fun. Um, so yeah, I feel like we love a lot of movies. We love a lot of the same movies. We love a lot of different movies. You joked about this, but I'm very excited to make you watch Aquamarine, which is one of
Oh,
my
I know.
favorite movies, and also the High School Musical trilogy. that will be very exciting stuff. And we would love to have Corbin Bleu on the podcast. I am putting that out there now to manifest having him on the pod. So
Very good. Yeah,
make that
see,
happen.
I'm just older from Emily enough to kind of have missed um the Disney Channel movies like that. I'm more like 13 or the 13th year and um The Luck of the Irish and stuff like
I
that.
love those too. I like how you just like picked two movies with the same guy.
I know.
Like it's
I
the same
know.
guy in both of those.
I was like, what other movies came out that I loved? I loved like The Color of Friendship was one of my favorites. Life Size.
Life size iconic.
What other ones were on the Disney Channel?
It's like Cheetah Girls.
No, that was more you.
No. Now I can't think of
Dang.
anything, but we'll watch them. Whatever they are,
Yeah,
we'll be watching them.
hopefully they're all on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So part of the reason we started this podcast is obviously because we love movies. And then we have some interesting POVs on them because I'm coming from a Gen Z lens. You're a little older, millennial, but we kind of meet in the middle as Zillennials more broadly. But I feel like because of that, we have like some different movies that we love that we'll be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the other reason we started this is because we both love podcasts. We've both been like the girly on the way to the corporate job, listening to a podcast, the girly on the hot girl walk. Like, we need our podcasts. So we know that there's a market for it.
Podcasts have definitely gotten me through really bad jobs. And instead of crying on my way to work, I would listen to my girlies on the way to work. So, like, I want to be that for other people. I want to help people get through their days or to make them laugh or to make them feel seen or just like be a big sister to more girly pops.
Yeah.
Because I love
like,
being a big sister.
Vibe. Yeah. We love being sisters and we're besties. Mm-hmm. And also, we know that there are movie podcasts out there, but not the movies that we like to talk about. So
yeah, it's like I love all the movie. I love movie recap podcasts, but I just find that a lot of them kind of lean more to male-centric movies.
For sure.
And I love those movies too. But I'm like, okay, like let's talk about Pride and Prejudice. Let's talk about Devil Wears Prada, but like actually make it a love letter to the movie and not kind of tear it apart, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens a lot.
There's a lot of like smack talk about what people
rom-coms
call like girl movies or rom-coms or whatever. And I don't see it like that. Like, these are the movies that I really love, and there's a lot to say about them, and there's a reason that people love them and they make people happy. Mm-hmm. So like, why not talk about them? Period.
Yeah. I mean, like, you as a writer in New York, these movies like shaped who you turned into as an adult. So they're powerful films.
I mean, like, Devil Wears Prada freaking set me up for my path. Like, Andy Sachs went to Northwestern. I went to Northwestern. She worked at a fashion magazine. I worked at a fashion magazine. She left the fashion magazine. I left the fashion magazine. Like, literally, I followed that trajectory, and that movie meant so much to me. Like, going into college and like entering this industry, and then seeing the second movie, it was just like so accurate to everything that's happening in that industry. Like, that's such an important movie to me. So like, to me, it's not something to be ripped apart. Like, it's something that brings so many people joy. So let's talk about it and like have fun with it.
Yeah. And I love talking about a movie. I love dissecting a look or a costume, set design, or just like, I just love reading too much into things.
Yeah. And I think something that we learn in like doing the research for this first movie that we're going to get into is there is so much to talk about, and like so much that you wouldn't think about, and like the role, the like time period played, like when the movie was made, who was in it, like what happened after, how the reviews have changed. So like, there's so much to get into. And I think we can talk a little bit about like the structure of what this podcast is going to look like. So
yeah, that sounds good.
Basically, every week we're going to pick a movie. This week Maggie kind of picked it because she had me watch this a few months ago, but we kind of collectively picked this one, but every week we'll flip flop back and forth and surprise the other one with what the movie is going to be. And then we'll just like get into it.
Did you just see that thing fly behind your head?
No, what was it?
It was literally an orb. And it left like a trail.
Really?
And like, yeah, like literally something flew behind your head and then like the wisp of the trail kind of just stayed for a second. It didn't fully
Wait, I feel like
disappear.
I did kind of see something, but it's my ghosty.
Yeah. Oh, just so you know a little bit more about me is I love the paranormal and Emily has a ghost. Apparently. We've just seen it.
Apparently. So, shout out to my ghost. They'll be here for the recordings too, I suppose. So yeah, so every week we'll talk about a different movie and kind of get into it. Do you want to talk about like kind of what we're going to talk about with each movie? Like the things we want to get into?
So what we want to discuss are we'll do a brief synopsis of the movie to kind of get you in the headspace of what we're talking about, and then we'll go into kind of the nitty-gritty details about the cast, the opening, the revenue, those kind of numbers, and we'll set the stage of the time period it came out, give you an idea of what was going on in the world, what was going on in cinema, or any other fun things that we come up with like that. And then we'll show you some of the reviews that came out at the time. And we're also kind of pulling, if they're older enough, the retrospective interviews that have come out since. Because sometimes, like the movie we're going to talk about, it had a life after the movie theaters and it's kind of had a resurgence. So the reviews are a little bit different now than they were back then. And then we'll get into a dialogue of our thoughts about the movie and we'll kind of like pick apart our favorite scenes, our least favorite scenes, costumes, just maybe themes that happen within the film, things like that.
Yeah, like all the things that we love and hate and would have done differently if we had made the movie, or like how the movie would have changed if it was made today. And I think another thing I wanted to say is like that these picks are going to span genre. So it could be like Casablanca, it could be Devil Wears Prada, it could be an animated movie, it could be a drama. Like it could be from the 1920s, it could be from 2026. Like it's gonna span everything.
Yeah, it's literally our favorite movies.
Our favorite movies.
We have been talking about maybe at some points we'll throw a poll out to the audience, or we welcome feedback. We'll give you some of our socials and email at the end of the video. So if you want to write us in any feedback or topics you want us to hit during the podcast, or maybe movies that you want us to consider, we want all of that.
Yeah, like send us feedback, but be nice because we're sensitive.
Oh yeah.
But we're open
if you want to give us a positive review, do that on the socials and Spotify or wherever you find your podcast. If you want to give us negative feedback, just email it to us.
Yeah, don't put that out for others to see, just for us, and then we'll adjust accordingly. And
yeah,
we know we're in for a learning curve. We like to talk over each other. We like to ramble, so we'll work on reeling ourselves in and getting this to the best format we can for the gals to listen to, but we're working on it. We know.
Yeah. Okay. It's definitely going to be a learning experience, but hopefully the people that are here with us are, one, understand there's a ghost flying in your house. I keep seeing it popping in and out. That or like a little bug or something. Damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. But no, hopefully our audience is excited to join us for the ride. And will bear with us and be like, yeah, like this is how me and my sister talk, or me and my cousin, me and my best friend, whoever. And also, I want to give everyone a heads up that I do have a dog named Prue. She's an Italian Greyhound. And right now she is sleeping next to me on the floor in her little bed. She potentially will make an appearance visually or audio-wise. Audibly. I was like, what is the word? Audibly. I also have a cat named Mabel, and her bed is set up right here, next to me on my desk. she potentially could show up, but I think she's outside in the sun, so I don't think she'll want to be bothered anytime soon. Tell us
And
about
Mabel,
your little buddy.
well, I was gonna say Mabel has one eye, and we love
Mabel
her.
does have one eye. We adopted her in January. Her eye had been just recently removed. It was all stitches. And she worked me hard in that Humane Society. She was
Yeah,
like, "You are taking me home." They took
yeah.
my eye out.
I
So
was
she came home with
there.
me.
I like, and she hasn't been as sweet as she was then. Like
No,
up until now, she played.
she
She played you.
no, but she is so
She's sweet.
sweet. She loves to cuddle and but she's an independent gal. But when she wants some love, she wants her love. But she was really laying it on thick at the Humane Society. She was like, "Take me home. It's stinky in here."
She was playing you. She knew what she was doing.
And then I
So
brought her home and
I,
she was riddled with parasites and she had one eye, parasites, fleas. But now she's like a little angel from heaven. It's all good.
she is an angel, and we love
Okay,
her.
tell us about your
So
demon.
I have a cat that's like kind of the opposite of Mabel. Wednesday is my cat. She's very feisty. She's a black and white cow cat, different from Tuxedo. We most recently learned
I love
because
a cow
she's
cat.
spotted. So it's a
Yeah.
cow cat is the color, and she has bright green eyes. She was rescued from a hurricane, so she's a magical cat. And her name is Wednesday after Wednesday Addams, specifically the Christina Ricci version. And Prue is named after Prue from Great British Bake Off, which I think these names like go to show our love for entertainment things.
Yeah.
And that's why we named our pets what we named them,
Mabel,
for the vibes.
yeah, it just happened. I was like, Mabel, that's it.
That's it.
That's her
And
name.
Mabel and Prue, like it kind of goes well together. But Wednesday's pretty feisty, so
Oh, she a bad cat. We love her though.
no. She's not
No,
bad.
she a
She's
bad
feisty.
cat.
She's a biter.
She loves her treats and
Oh
she
my
loves
god.
to destroy anything around the treats to get to them.
Correct. Correct.
And she loves to hiss and to scratch and we love her.
Okay, but she's also very loving, and she's great. We love her. And so those are
Emily
our
called me
pets.
yesterday. She was like, "I'm just sitting here working and Winston came and bit my face."
You can kind of see it.
Hmm.
Yeah, she bit my cheek, but she loves me, and I know it's all. She's just she's so dramatic. I love her.
Mhm.
But yeah, so those are our lives, and we'll get more into it as the pod evolves. And if you have questions for us, let us know. We're happy to yap about anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that said, do you have anything else, or should we get into the movie?
Emily, it's a harsh world. This week on my sister's favorite movie, we are covering Uptown
Uptown
Girls.
Girls.
Woo! Uptown Girls. Da, 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 da,
Famously
da, da, da.
not in the movie, but I like that song.
We do like that song. We saw Billy Joel in concert
Correct.
at Madison Square
Iconic.
Garden.
So iconic. Okay, Maggie, tell us about Uptown Girls.
So I pulled a
Girls.
movie description. Okay, so this movie is heavily cemented in the early aughts. 2003 is when it came out. So I was like,
For sure.
where's the best place to get the movie description? On the back of the DVD case. Woohoo! So
Yeah.
this is what the DVD said about the synopsis of the film. Okay. Molly is a partying rock and roll princess whose money has just run out. Ray is a fussy 9-year-old girl whose last nanny just run out. Only Ray's way too busy mom could think that hiring Molly would be the perfect setup for both girls. But as this unlikely pair faces everything from control issues, Ray's of course, to temper tantrums, Molly's of course, they've discovered that sometimes your best friend can come from the place you least expect.
So good.
Thank you.
It's an okay synopsis. I don't know if it gets
I
into
don't
all of
think
it.
the mom does not care. They never show like the mom being like, this is the perfect setup for Molly and Ray to be together. Like, I'm like, what?
The mom is barely in
I
it.
literally think they put that sentence in because when I say everybody's names for the first time, in parentheses is the actor, and I think they just wanted to be like, Heather Locklear is in this movie.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's fair. I pulled the description from Amazon Prime, and this is what it says. It's a lot shorter. A New York socialite loses her family fortune and gets a job as a nanny to a mature, troubled 9-year-old girl from the Upper East Side. Surprisingly, both end up growing in the process. Which, like, period. Yeah.
And
sure.
that's kind of funny
That's
because
right.
it makes me feel like these descriptions are so up the time. Like this weird
Yeah.
description to kind of make this movie sound a little more fluffy is so like 2003, and like the nitty gritty, quick description, it feels just more like now.
Yeah, this one, it's like, we have brain rot. We're going to give you like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Like, you're on TikTok brain. This is what it is. Do you want to watch it? Good luck. So that's a description of Uptown Girls. Do we want to talk about like why we picked this movie to start with?
Yeah. So I picked this movie because, we'll backtrack a little bit. Like in the past year or so, it's really had a resurgence like on TikTok and Instagram and everything I was seeing. I was like, oh, this reminds me of me and Emily, Emily and I, like Emily and me. Like just the little girl is kooky and rigid, and Emily's not rigid, but she's very strict about her like wellness and supplements and her routine and her skincare. And I'm a little more like chaotic and stuff like that. And it just made me think of us, and like there would be memes of the end of the movie where they're dancing, where she's dancing in a recital and Brittany Murphy's watching, and it would be like me cheering on my little sister.
Stop.
I cheer Emily on
No, and
forever. So
that's such a thing. Like, I've seen people post like, oh, like, I'm not a mama's girl, or I'm not a daddy's girl. Like, I'm my big sister's girl. And I'm like, that's so us. Like, we are bestianas. That's another thing I should have said. Like, we're starting this podcast. It's called My Sister's Favorite Podcast, but like, we are best friends and we talk about everything all day. Like, we talk so many times a day and talk about everything. And so like, we really are besties, and this movie is like such a good depiction of like a relationship that gets super close. So it felt like very like us, like cheering each other on and stuff.
And I loved that we started with a movie that's about the emphasis of the film is about friendship between 2 girls. Like there is a romance plot, which we'll get into, but that's not the center of the plot. The center of the plot is these 2 girls and their relationship, which I love.
Right. And so this is a movie I did not grow up with. Maggie grew up with it a little more because she's old. I did not grow up with this movie. So I feel like I'd seen it like once when I was a kid, but hadn't ever like really watched it again. And then a few months ago, Maggie made me watch it.
Yeah, I think we watched it when you came for Christmas.
Track down. Yeah, and I'm hard to make watch a movie. So it was like I was in person. So we were watching the movie. Like, that is how you got
and I
me.
think like going back to what I was saying about the memes, I think I was sending enough of them to Emily that Emily's heartstrings were being pulled, and she was like, we should watch it. And I was like, yeah.
Also, I was like, it's all the things I love. Like, there are movies you suggest to me that it's like it's gonna take me a second to get there, but this movie, it's like Y2K,
New York,
Dakota Fanning, Brittany Murphy, New York, like chaotic girl in her 20s doesn't know what she's doing. Like, it's all the things I love. So it was an easy get. And then once we watched it, like, I fell in love with the movie, and it like exemplifies our relationship. It exemplifies female friendship. It's like a good coming of age story. The soundtrack is iconic. The aesthetic is iconic. Like, everything about it just like does the job. So I love it.
I love it too.
And the movie came out in 2003. Do we want to talk a little bit about like the background, or the background of the movie, like who all's in it, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So the movie is starring Brittany Murphy and Dakota Fanning, Love. There's also Heather Locklear as the mom, Marley Shelton as her best friend Ingrid or Ing, Jesse Spencer as Neal, the boy, ugh, and Donald
Yuck.
Faison as Huey, her best friend, who was also with her in Clueless. So it's a little Clueless reunion. Woo!
And it was longer ago than I had thought. So like this came out in 2003, Clueless came out in 1995. So it had been a while
Oh
since they had
yeah.
done that movie, but I think it's so cute that they're like doing a movie again.
That's kind of crazy
For
because
some reason I have
from 1995 to 2003, it doesn't feel that long, but the aesthetic is so different.
yeah, it's a totally different vibe.
Wow.
But like he looks the same.
I
They
know.
all look the same. Or she looks different.
She looks different.
But I was gonna say for some reason I have in my notes Dakota Johnson, and I was like, it's definitely
No,
not Dakota Johnson.
definitely
It's
not Dakota
Fanning.
Johnson.
So that's the cast, and basically, like we said, like the the film follows Brittany Murphy, Molly as Dakota Fanning, Ray's nanny, and they kind of have like opposite personalities. Molly's very like whimsical and going off vibes, and Ray is very rigid and like likes her ballet and likes her routines, but also she has this like kind of traumatizing home life. Her mom's not really around. Her dad is in a coma, and she's just like not being a little girl. And so Molly's role is to like come in and make her, well, Ray kind of makes Molly like be more realistic and like be an adult a little bit, but then Molly makes Ray like embrace her inner child, basically.
It's almost like
her
they
real
both
child.
don't have parents in different ways. And then Molly
Yeah.
almost feels like she has to step up to be that adult for Ray, and that kind of makes her step up everywhere else in her world.
Exactly. So like her dad was a rock star, and the parents had died in a plane crash when she was young. So she like grew up without parents, and Ray is essentially growing up the same way. So she's kind of like being there for her. So that's the movie. And then do you want to talk about like the director and the how much it grossed and stuff?
Yeah, so the director of the movie was Boaz Yakin. Kind of looked at his IMDb to see if he had any other notable films or anything. And I think he directed a couple that I recognized. Remember the Titans, Dirty Dancing 2.
Which I had no idea was a movie.
Yeah, that kind of came and went in the
What
odds.
is that?
Like it was literally just like, I think it was a little more like dirty dancing, like Christina Aguilera dirty. I don't know. But it was definitely like rooted in the 2000s where everything was like really hypersexual and weird.
That's what we're watching next week.
Yeah. I can't wait. And then there was
I do want to watch it now.
And I think he has a way more writing credits though. I think he's kind of more on the writing oeuvre these days.
Yeah, I looked into him, and he is of the Now You See Me movies fame, which I have never seen.
I don't know what those are.
The Now You See Me's. That's like the movie with like Dave Franco, I think, and like Jesse Eisenberg, where they're doing like magic tricks, And like I remember, like Isla Fisher was in that one of them or all of them maybe, and she's like I think like in a fish tank or something, like in a tank of water, and she's chained up.
Oh, I feel like I
And
remember
when
that
they
preview.
were filming, she actually was like
yeah,
like drowning or not drowning, but like she was actually like struggling, and they didn't know when they were filming or something like that happened.
Ugh.
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I feel like I saw
scary.
the visuals in a preview. I feel like I remember.
Yeah, so
okay,
he did those movies, which shout out, never seen them. Maybe we'll watch them. And then the movie, so it came out August 2003. It did a little over 11 million in its opening weekend, and this was like the height of movies actually playing in theaters. So like my biggest gripe was I love Jacob Elordi, obviously, and he was in Frankenstein, and that movie was in theaters for like literally 5 minutes, and it was in like 2 theaters in New York. Like it's so hard to see a movie now. They don't play.
Oh yeah, like that. I don't even know if that came here for more than a day.
No.
Like movies
like probably not.
Oh, so I'm in Savannah, Georgia, and Emily is in New York City. I don't know if we mentioned that, but movies, not all movies come to Savannah, Georgia, which is insane. And I
Mm-mm.
have literally traveled to New York to go see movies with Emily so that I can actually see them because they don't come here.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like Frankenstein, I had to go to like a specific theater to be able to see it, to see my man. But movies don't play. But this movie played for 19 weeks. That's crazy. 19 weeks is almost 5 months. Is that right? Yeah.
4, 8, 12,
8, 12.
16. Yeah.
That's
Movies don't do that
crazy. And
anymore. And
movies in
I
theaters.
love that. Bring that back.
Yeah. Because imagine, like, if you had seen, like, imagine we just saw Devil Wears Prada 2. Imagine you just saw it. And then, like, in September, like, when it's Fashion Week, you could go see it again. Like, that's
That
sick.
is sick.
So it played for 19 weeks and it grossed $45 million worldwide. And this was a big summer for the movies. I'm going to get into, like, what was going on in the world. So it was a big movie summer. I was 5 years old. Maggie was 11. So, and we don't think we saw this movie in theaters. Right? Do you think you saw
I don't remember seeing it in theaters, but I have to believe that we did. And I definitely think our mom would have wanted to see this. So I bet we did see it, but I don't have a memory of it. Because we were movie people. Like our whole family loved going to the movies. So we probably did see it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, is like this is a movie that really like appeals to everyone. Like it, like we'll talk about this later, but it kind of has a bit of everything. So I feel like it's kind of like a family movie, a friend movie, a date movie. Like
Yeah.
it could be anything because it really just is like so good. But it opened at number 5 in the box office, and these were the other movies that were out that were above it at the time. The most iconic, Freaky Friday. Like, duh, this movie wasn't number 1. Freaky Friday was
That's
playing.
crazy. I remember seeing Freaky Friday in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, we saw it at the Carmike on Stevenson.
Did you?
Saw it with Grandma.
Did you see Freaky Friday too?
Yeah. Didn't we see it together?
Yeah.
Or
I
no,
liked it.
I think I saw it by
No.
myself. I went to a morning movie. I went and got
I liked
went
it.
and got a biscuit from McDonald's and then went to the morning movie.
Yo. Wait, I want to do that. That's so good. Okay, so Freaky Friday, obviously iconic. And then we had Open Range. Do you know what that is?
I think that's that animated Disney movie with like cows or something.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I don't think I've seen it.
Should we add that? Should we watch that next week?
Yeah, Open Range next week. I feel like I had like a video game of it. For some reason, I like am envisioning like a video game that was Open Range.
Maybe.
And then we had SWAT. Don't know what that is. And then a movie that you could never catch me at, Freddy versus Jason, which feels like it would be a Halloween movie, no?
Well, Jason takes place at a summer camp, but Freddy, you would think. So I guess it might take place at Jason's camp. I don't know. I think I've seen bits and pieces of that because I've definitely seen like Jason and Freddy like fighting, but I don't know.
No.
Like I see like a dark
Something-
like blue looking movie, like blue and black, like really dark, and it's Freddy and Jason like in the woods or something.
Ugh. I think like an important piece of context. I'll watch a lot of different type of movies. Like I'll try scary movies. I don't like scary stuff. I don't like. Maggie likes paranormal. I don't like paranormal stuff so much. Horror. I don't like. I get scared.
Yeah,
Even though
like I don't know
apartment,
how
but-
many scary movies we're gonna do because I don't gravitate towards scary movies. I'm kind of into the old
None.
stuff like Dracula with Gary Oldman or Dracula with Bela Lugosi. But we're not gonna like cover The Exorcist on here. So if that's your thing, like you'll have to find it somewhere else because that's way too scary for me. I don't do the devil.
I don't do the devil.
No.
Period. I can do like a camp scary, but not a big scary. But I will say Maggie and I have watched all of the Exorcist movies. Like we are movie people. We have watched all of them. We've watched all the Exorcist movies. We sat down and watched them when I was like young.
Emily, that was Halloween.
No, Maggie.
I have not.
I remember watching all the Halloween movies. Maggie, you and I stayed up. I remember this. I remember
No,
this.
I have never. I saw The Exorcist once on a sick day in mom's bedroom, scared the living daylights out of me. I have never seen anything else Exorcist. No,
Maggie,
no, it's not
you
me.
and
Not me.
Maggie, I have a
You
vivid
dreamt that,
memory.
girl.
Me and you. So I remember watching all the Halloween movies. I remember me and you watching The Exorcist because I've seen it. I remember we watched it upstairs at the house,
Which house?
and we were so scared. Our old house where we grew up. We were in the house. We were upstairs. We watched the movie, and then you and I were so scared that you said, "Let's go downstairs and watch the next one in the big living room with the lights on." And I remember we went to watch it with the lights on, and I remember I was so scared and like getting tired, but I didn't want to fall asleep because I was so scared. And you told me to put my face in a bucket of ice water to like wake myself up. And I did that to
Emily,
like stay up and watch the movie.
I don't
You don't
remember
remember
this at
this?
all. Like, I do not think this happened. This was like with a friend of yours. You're making this
No,
up.
Maggie, I'm not making this up. Maggie, why would I have seen The Exorcist?
Emily, why would I have watched The Exorcist again? I can't even say the word too many times because I'm gonna dream about it tonight. Are you thinking like
Yeah,
it or something else? Like some not
No,
that
I've
little
never seen
girl.
it.
No, I do not
No,
fuck with The Exorcist.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
No, it did not
We watched it,
happen.
though.
It did
Yes,
not
it
happen.
did. Oh my god. We have to move on from this. But we did watch. I've seen The Exorcist. We watched it together.
And I haven't seen any other Exorcist movies.
I feel like we watched the second one.
I don't know what
least.
that would even be.
It happens again.
Oh, it's so scary. I hate it. I hate it. But
Okay.
funnily enough, though, I love like listening to podcasts about that movie because I have a weird fascination with it, but I hate it so much.
Yeah, I don't do stuff like that, but I have seen.
Are you thinking of
least
like
the first one
Freddy
and the second.
Krueger? I remember watching all of
No, I've never
those.
seen those. Mm-mm. Maggie, I'm talking about The Exorcist for sure.
Ugh. Okay.
Okay, let's move on because I don't want to think about it too hard.
Okay, so I want to get back to the movies in the theater at that time. So you're talking about how the movies stayed in the theaters for a long time. Oh, you talked about everything that was in there that opened the same month. Can we talk about the stuff that was still playing from either June or July? This was a huge summer for film. You mentioned Freaky Friday. Also, Finding Nemo. Crazy. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
So good.
Legally Blonde 2. What? We were just living at the movie theater. We were living at the movie theater. That was my third place.
And I will say there's a reason people were living at the movie theater. So it was an interesting summer that year. There were record-breaking heat waves. So it was like one of the hottest summers on record across the Northeast and like into Canada.
Whoa.
So people needed to go to the movies. There was also a blackout that summer. So I think maybe related to the heat waves, there was like a literal like power outage for like 2 days.
That's scary.
Across the Northeast, which is crazy. But people were living at the movies. Do you want to talk about your journey with Pirates Black Pearl and like your love of the Pirates films?
Sure, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp. I remember the first time I saw Johnny Depp come in on the top of that ship into the dock, and I was like, holy crap, who is that? And I was like, ooh, I love me some Johnny Depp.
Was that the first movie of the series?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you saw it how many times?
13 times.
You saw the movie 13 times in theaters. And you know what? That's not that crazy because it probably played
I
for
know.
6 months.
And it was like, me and Dad would be like, we would all go out to dinner, and then Dad would be like, you want to go see a movie? And I was like, yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, baby. And I remember seeing it with Zach. I remember seeing it with my friends. I remember like just going and going and going.
And that's probably why like we maybe didn't really see Uptown Girl.
No,
Girls, or, like,
we definitely saw that too. And I remember seeing Freaky Friday.
I don't know if we saw Legally Blonde too. It's not one of my favorites, but I've definitely seen it several times.
And I think Peter Pan came out that summer too.
Yes. So it was a big summer for the movies. So some other things that came out that year, that summer or that year: Peter Pan,
That was a big year for
which
me.
you have some thoughts on.
Yeah, well, Jason Isaacs, Captain Hook. So we have these two pirates that were basically like my awakening that year. I remember loving Jason Isaacs. I saw Peter Pan in the afternoon with maybe you or like my friend's mom. It was like somebody. And then I was like, I must immediately go back to the movie theater and look at this man again. Grandma, you want to go see a movie
Yeah.
tonight? So me and Grandma went.
And it's like a childlike movie. And Jason Isaacs is Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter
Yeah.
and also the dad from the most recent season of White Lotus. So
Yeah, he's so hot.
iconic.
Yeah, he's hot.
Iconic. We get to see him on TV a lot.
I love him.
So Peter Pan was out. I love that was like your childhood crush. Meanwhile, everyone was like crushing on the boy
I know.
that played Peter Pan.
My friend
So
in
that's funny.
school was like buying all this like Hot Topic merch with Peter Pan on it and stuff. And there's Prue. Prue has joined the chat.
She's yapping.
And I was like, where's all this stuff with Captain Hook?
So fair. Okay, so in addition to Peter Pan, that summer or that year, we also had Barbie Swan Lake.
Oh my God.
10 out of 10. Under the Tuscan Sun. I've never seen that movie.
I haven't either. My friend Gala loves that movie. She might have a lot
we
to
had
say.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Cheetah Girls. So good. The first Cheetah Girls. Big movie for me. And then another really big movie for me, the Lizzie McGuire movie.
I do remember seeing that one in theaters too. Me and Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And that is such a fab movie. Like, that is one that we will definitely be watching. So, like, there's a lot of movies out that year for the gals and people who like good movies, period.
Quality.
So, I mean, it was a hit summer. Like, Barbie Swan Lake, Lizzie McGuire, Cheetah Girls, Freaky Friday.
Yeah, you had it in the movie theaters, you had it straight to DVD, and on the Disney Channel. We were set.
Yeah, like all the movies I love. And so, also happening that summer, so we had the record-breaking heat waves, we had a blackout. I'm 5, you're 11, we're vibing as children. Also, the #1 TV show at the time was CSI Crime Scene Investigation.
Crime scene, scene of the crime.
It is giving crime scene, scene of the crime.
Can you say Dixicle?
From whatchamacallit, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, iconic. This was the summer that the OC premiered, which is obviously an iconic Y2K show. It was a big summer for Hilary Duff because she released her album Metamorphosis.
Love.
And then one of my favorite anecdotes from the summer, and I think this is why people have talked about this now as they're talking about the movie Uptown Girls, that it's such like a time capsule type of movie. Like, it's like one of the final moments in time that we had before everything changed with like phones and social media and stuff. So the month that the movie came out was the month that MySpace launched and the month that Skype video conferencing launched.
Oh my God.
So it was like literally the last analog moment, and then everything changed.
Yeah, because when you were saying that, like when I think back on the movie, like they do have cell phones, but they're on it to make phone calls and that's it.
They're essentially pagers. Like, they're not texting.
Yeah.
On them.
Yeah.
Maybe, but like not really. So it was like the last glimpse of not being on a phone and not being like on the internet all the time, and like it's just a different time. Missing that analog vibe. And now we're literally like, we have to have the brick to like brick our phone so we get off social media.
Yeah. Weird.
It's crazy.
It's sad.
It is sad. And we're working on that. That's something we're working on.
But I do love my phone.
I know. I love TikTok. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Also in music, the #1 song that summer was Crazy in Love by Beyonce. And I actually did look into this because I was a little confused. Because it feels like that song, like, it spans timelines. Because I'm like, it doesn't feel that old. But it came out in 2003, and that was Beyonce's debut album.
Whoa.
So it was like post Destiny's Child. That was the first.
Did you see that white thing just fly like out of you?
No.
What?
I have a lot of like dust, I think. Like
Whoa.
fuzzies or something.
That's
I don't think it's
crazy
dust.
that her debut album was in 2003. It feels like it was more like in the later, like the 8 or 9 or 10. I can't believe it was that far back.
Yeah.
Time flying too fast.
2003, and Jay-Z was on the song. So like
Wow.
iconic song. And then in terms of like things related to the film, Brittany Murphy had also just done Just Married with Ashton Kutcher that summer. It also came out that summer, or that year. But she had some other hits right before that. Do you want to talk about like what else she had been working on up until Uptown Girls?
Famously, she was in Clueless, and then The
Iconic.
8 Mile, and oh my God, I had it written down. What was it? She had that scary movie.
She was in Girl
Oh
Interrupted,
yeah, Girl Interrupted, and
which I do like that movie
I know I
actually.
was thinking we might do
That's
that
like
at
as
something.
scary as I'll do.
It's not scary. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like kind of depressing, but
It's
surprisingly
not
upbeat.
scary, but it like gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah,
And then Don't
surprisingly
Say a Word.
upbeat.
That's the one I was trying to remember because that one lives in my memory forever because there was a preview for it where she's like in an asylum or something and she's singing like I'll never tell. And it was really scary.
Mm-mm.
And it was like a commercial on all these DVDs I had. So if you're in my generation, you might remember that. And then
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted, Don't Say a Word, 8 Mile, Just Married, and then Uptown Girls. I feel like she kind of spans the genres and the
Mm-hmm.
demographics because she's making movies for men, she's making movies for women, young people, older people. She's diverse.
She was such a star. Like, she is so entertaining to watch in this movie and every movie she's been in. Like, she's such a scene stealer and she was so talented. And it's really sad that she very sadly passed away because she would have just had such an iconic and like big career, I think, after this.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I saw a TikTok last night, and I think somebody was saying like, "Oh, when an actor passes away." Oh, here's Prue. Hey, Prue.
Hi, baby
It was
Prue.
like when an actor passes away, you miss them or you're sad. But like when Brittany Murphy passed away, you mourn them, you miss them, you think of what could have been. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
we lost her too soon. Okay, God, I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was like really just like, yeah, like she was such a light and she did bring so much to what she worked on, and it seemed like to the people that surrounded her world. And we probably just missed out on a lot of beautiful things from her.
Yeah, I think she would have done so much. And like based on the research we did, oh, sorry, there's some honking
We're
happening
setting the scene
outside.
of Uptown Girls,
Ugh,
the sounds of the
city
city.
living, am I right? Yes, I think we definitely missed out on a lot of what she would have, gone on to do. Like, she was so funny. She could do the drama. She had these big, beautiful eyes. Like, she just showed so much emotion in her acting and, like, brought so much sincerity, I feel like, to every role that she played. Like, that's why Uptown Girls is so good. Because Dakota Fanning, first of all, is like a star in this film. Like, you can tell she was meant to be an actress if she's able to do that as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Brittany Murphy just was genuinely a star. Like, she just really comes across on the screen as like just so entertaining. And based on the research I did, like people spoke really highly of her. And she was just like the nicest person to work with. She was super fun, like brought the vibes on set and genuinely loved what she did. So I think we definitely missed out on a lot of what Brittany Murphy could have done. And we love
And I
her.
have a quick background on her. Sorry, I talked over you. But she grew up in New Jersey, or she was born in Atlanta, Georgia, grew up in New Jersey around 13.
Shout out Georgia.
Shout out. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, so not far from here. And moved to New Jersey, single mom raising her. At 13, her mom sold everything. They packed up their life and moved to LA to help Brittany pursue acting because she
Wow.
was like acting and doing like local things in New Jersey. And I think her mom saw something and took a leap of faith. They moved out to LA and she started professionally acting at 13 and got her first big role, maybe Clueless. I'm not quite sure. Might have been something else, but
I was gonna say, I think Clueless was her first big thing because she was super young
yeah,
in
I don't know
Clueless.
if she was ever like on a TV show or commercials or something, but I think Clueless, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was on an episode of Boy Meets World, and she was on Sister Sister.
Oh,
That could have,
oh,
and she
Sister
kind of looked
Sister, so good.
like how she looks in Clueless. So I don't know if it was before or after. I didn't look into that. But yeah, they moved out to LA, and then she became a star. She was in show business.
Yeah, she was in the
She was in
biz.
the biz.
So yeah, Brittany Murphy, simply iconic, and the movie. So when the movie came out, it did not do super well. Obviously, it was up against a lot of stuff in the theaters at the time, but it was pretty poorly received from the critics. And we're going to get into some of the reviews. But I do want to say before we do that, that the movie has since become a cult classic. People love this movie. And in thinking about it myself and in doing research, there's multiple reasons it's become such a classic. First of all, Brittany Murphy. Like, she obviously tragically passed away. So this movie is just like a beautiful time capsule of her. And something I saw in the research was like a lot of her fans and friends and people that knew her specifically love this movie because they say it's like the most accurate representation of who she really was on screen. So apparently she was like very whimsical and always having fun and kind of like wanting to like dance through life a little bit and like make everything kind of romanticized and fun. So for her fans, it's become like, you know, one of those movies that people rewatch a lot.
I saw an interview that she did on her press tour, and it's an interview that she did with the girl who plays her friend Ingrid in the movie. And the interviewer asked them, "Are you like your characters?" And the Ingrid girl was like, I try to think that I'm not like her, but like the more I was doing the acting and like now after the movie, I see myself, I am very like type A like that. And then
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy was like, yeah, like I am like my character. I'm a little chaotic like that. And she was like I was at my friend's house recently and I brought my new boyfriend there for our third date. And like, I wanted to look like I was doing something at the party, like helping cook or bringing out the food. And nobody wanted to let me do it because they're like, just go. Like, don't help. You're going to mess everything up.
Like, sit down. Well, in the movie, she like burns the cookies at Ing's apartment. So it sounds like that same vibe.
Yeah, it's cute. It's definitely like that.
So people love it for that reason. And then also we're in this like very nostalgic, cozy era, and we love the Y2K aesthetic. And this movie is exactly that. So people love it for that reason. But let's go time capsule or time machine vibes and go back in time and talk about how bad the reviews were.
Yeah. Dang. When I was looking at the reviews, I started when I was doing my research and looking at reviews, I started with Rotten Tomatoes, and it had a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not very good.
No.
And most of the reviews were like from the early mid 2000s, and people are like, I'm just counting down the minutes until this is over. It's a fairy tale that you just don't even want to be a part of. Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, people that have time to go write these hate comments, like, have too much time. But,
yeah.
So that kind of blew. And then I looked into Variety, who wrote a review right when the movie came out, and it was written by a woman, and she did kind of pull it apart. And I was like, that just sucks. Like, what was our mindset back then? I really feel like in this time period, women in the corporate world, or like young women of the time, really kind of hated on other women. It's very like, I don't even know. It's just like tearing other women down and stuff like that to get to the top. And it's very strange. And I'm going to read a little excerpt that I was like, what does this even mean? Okay. It starts with a light, occasionally charming, and reasonably well-crafted tale about transforming female friendship. Okay, cool. Pick offers scant appeal to males and is likely to fall between the cracks of young teen and preteen female demographic. And I'm just like, Why does it need to be said that this movie is not for males? Like, just write what the movie's about and that you like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it was weird. But and it says Murphy struggles to carry the first part of the pick on her own, but once she's paired with remarkable Fanning, things pick up. Still, the Ray's hyper-intelligent and nastiness at such a young age strains believability. Performance by Spencer, a teen idol in Australia, falls on the bland side, and Locklear is believable but one note and a turn with small screen scope.
She's barely in
Like
it.
it's
That's
like I feel
fine.
like maybe it
She did
doesn't
fine.
sound as negative as I was spinning it, but like there was just something about it that just felt too severe, like for such a warm movie. I don't know. But I did like she did say that she calls the movie a confection that musters additional appeal as a visually intriguing Valentine to New York. And I feel like a lot of reviews and interviews I've seen, they've all been saying like it's a love letter to New York City. Like it's New
Mm-hmm.
York at its best. It looks like it's
Hashtag chills.
springtime, spring or summer. It's probably spring because she's still in school. And like Central Park looks beautiful. The light looks beautiful. The buildings, like it's just a nice. It makes New York makes people want to move to New York City. That's why your generation
Yeah.
has all moved out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I do love it. Like watching it, like you see Ray lives like right by the Met, and Molly lives in this like beautiful penthouse apartment, and we see Central Park in the spring and everything's like blooming and they're walking around and they go to Coney Island and they have hot dogs. Like it really does just like romanticize like spring in NYC, and like who doesn't love
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like we love it. And I think the problem with a lot of these reviews, and a problem with like these type like reviews of these types of movies in general, is this term that someone from Film Journal International used, which is like calling the movie fluff.
Hmm.
And I think we call female oriented movies this a lot, and I think it's really frustrating. And I think like if it was more of a boy oriented movie, you'd be like, oh, it's like slice of life. Like it's so like just a moment in time kind of movie. Like it would be described so differently. Whereas this, it's like, oh, it's just fluff. Like it's just like a few months of this girl like
Yeah, like
being
who
this little girl's
cares?
nanny. Like who
It
cares?
makes me
Yeah.
think of like in the romance novel genre, like how it's not taken seriously, but it's the like most selling genre of literature.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when they call female stories, like it wouldn't be a romance, but like these female stories, they call them like chick lit. And it just like
Mm-mm.
makes it infantilizes it or de not demotes it,
Like
but yeah,
trivializes it.
trivializes it. And it's like these stories are valid. These stories are things that real women live through, like these real situations. Like it's so interesting how picked
Mm-hmm.
apart it gets when, like you said, this movie really is a slice of life. It's this girl, like they both live in a world that not everybody can relate to, but everybody can relate to having a struggle or making a new friend or having to move somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know?
Also, the movie is not fluff. Like this movie is like about grief,
Hmm.
essentially. Like both of them, Molly has lost both her parents. Ray's mom is absent basically, and then she does lose her dad in the film. Like they're both going through something really traumatic, and like finding hope and joy and like solace in each other. Like what is fluffy about
Yeah.
that? Like that's something people really go
Yeah.
through. Like what do you
Yeah.
mean? So these are really frustrating reviews. I'm gonna go through a couple other ones that I looked at. So also on Rotten Tomatoes, with two obnoxious lead characters and an uneven screenplay, Uptown Girls fails to charm.
Flop.
Flop. Boo. That I disagree with that
I
review.
feel like the only, and this is just me being like annoyed with this character, but I think the only uneven part of the movie is the Neal stuff. I'm just like, it comes
Agreed.
in unexpectedly. It doesn't, I feel like it does nothing for the story except
I
like
agree.
having her deal with boys and I guess having to
Have
reconcile like her need for male validation or something like that.
like an added layer of
Yeah.
chaos. Um Something I wanted to say about the review you read too is like I feel like and I said it earlier, like with this being like a date night movie, but I didn't really mean it like that. But like I feel like a lot of reviews will be like, the guy in your life would like this or like something like that. And it's just like, shut up. Like this movie is just it's just about people. It's
Well, it's
okay.
like,
Like
okay,
we
like,
can like a lot of different things.
exactly. And to get on the soapbox, I'm not trying to be anti-men. Like, I'm not. But it's like,
Mm.
they would never say that about a boy movie. They wouldn't be like, oh, this new World War II pick, your girlfriend probably wouldn't like. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like women are expected to like all movies because we do, because we're well-formed individuals. And like men, you're
Hmm.
only gonna like boy movies, you know?
Yeah. Or it's like we have to cast like, I don't know, like it's like I, I don't know what boys think because I'm a girl and a girly pop, but like I'm sure boys are like, well, that one has like Matthew McConaughey in it, so like I'll see that one or like something like that. You know, like some like silly like reasoning for why
Yeah,
it's
like
more
I
of a
like Tom
boy
Hanks. Tom
rom
Hanks is
com.
cool.
So, yeah, that's a good example. That's a really good example. So I don't know. It's just like kind of nonsensical to
Thankfully,
yeah, again
we
like
grew up
diminish.
with an almighty girl dad who will see girl
Mm-hmm.
movies and enjoy them. He's never been like weird like that. Because there's definitely been like guys that are
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a girl movie. That's a chick flick.
And again, like this is why we're doing this podcast because we grew up seeing everything. Like in the span of that summer, you saw Pirates 13 times, you saw this, you saw Freaky Friday. Maybe you watched The Exorcist. Who
I did
knows? We'll
not,
fight
well, I
about
definitely
that
didn't watch it at
later.
11.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the New York Times review.
Okay.
I'm gonna like speed through these reviews now. Okay, New York Times. In this standard variation of the princess myth, it takes a humbling fall from grace for Molly to gain a smidgen of soul and a glimpse of happily ever after. Once her obnoxiousness has been camouflaged by a thick glaze of saccharine, things magically work out, as they usually do for Hollywood princesses in distress. Like, why so negative? Like, what are you so pressed about? The movie's good and it has a happy ending. Like, ugh. And then we have our favorite film critic, Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert. I said
Right.
that kind of
Yeah.
weird.
And he can sometimes have controversial opinions. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't always agree with what he says. And also he does have retrospective is that the right word? Am I using that right? Retrospective, like where he would come back and like
Yeah.
redo his review. And he's definitely
Mm-hmm.
done that with movies because I think he sees other movies get a second life. Well, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but once we get to those, that'll be fun. But for this movie, I was so pleasantly surprised to see how like he really did like this movie. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, yay, Roger."
Yeah. He gave it a positive review. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars, which is pretty good for
Mhm.
him. And he compared Brittany Murphy to Lucille Ball.
I love that.
So he thought she had the comedic chops
Yeah, he was
for
saying
sure.
that a lot of people say she was channeling Marilyn Monroe and that like big doe-eyed kind of like helpless female vibes, but
Yeah.
she's really a Lucille Ball in this movie. And I was like, that I just gave myself chills. I was like that's what it is. Like that's what she's trying to do. Because whenever she's around Neal, her eyes get even bigger and she pouts her lips more, but she doesn't do that around anyone else. Like she's not doing like this weird like she's tossing her hair around and stuff. And but when
Yeah.
she's herself and when she's growing, she does become more of like um less of a Marilyn caricature and more of a Lucille Ball. I don't know.
Yeah. And she
Because I'm not trying to say that
like
Marilyn wasn't a strong woman. I'm saying like the
no, we love
character
Marilyn
of
in this
Marilyn
house.
Monroe. But yeah,
Yeah.
I loved that.
But yeah, so Brittany like she really is like such a strong character in this movie. Like she's funny. She really takes charge with Ray. Like she definitely has that Lucille Ball-esque energy. And then I have another retrospective or a retrospective review from Thrillist. And I'm gonna give this girl a shout out because she gave it a good review. Her name's Sadie Bell. And I'm gonna read some of her
Okay.
takes, and I like agree with most of these. Okay. She's
Prue, do you want to talk about your least favorite scene? She said, "No, I want treats and I want to go outside. Let me go get her a treat."
It goes all out with its youthful playfulness in telling the story of a connection between two people who need each other and the other's perspective on life, and flaunts all of its whimsical qualities so you can experience the sweetness of their friendship too. Delightful. So true. And she kind of talks about in her review, like, that the reviews originally were quite negative and the majority of the interviews were done by older men. So, I think there's something to that, obviously. And then this review like literally made me tear up. It's just so good. She said, "Were you to accept that this is a story largely about embracing girlhood, even as an adult with all of its wonder, instead of holding the film's eccentricities against it, you'd see this is a sugar rush that's intentional and exceptionally worth the buzz. The flick is a downright confectionery, even more so now because of how endearingly cemented in the aughts it is. Today, the magic of Uptown Girls isn't just its objective charm, it's how much of a throwback it is." And then this was the end of the review, which is so
I know, I'm already tearing up.
Yeah, the end of the review is so good. She said, "Despite a bunch of skeptical rays evaluating the movie upon its release, were you to ignore its low rating and rewatch it today, you'd probably find that it'll leave you feeling a little bit more like a Molly." Which I think is so true. Isn't that so
Yeah,
good?
I'm crying.
So Ray is obviously like, skeptical and rigid and has these ways of being. And Molly's like the more whimsical, having fun kind of vibe. And I think like a lot of us girls who grew up in this time were like forced to like, like grow up and like get into like just
Be
do the work
serious.
and be heads down and like grow up and whatever and like forget about like all the like fantasies you had as a kid and like being a girly pop and all this stuff. And I think a lot of us are like now coming to terms with that and returning to like our true whimsical, beautiful, romanticizing life selves, as well as being powerful, smart icons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the first thing we get asked when we're little is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like kindergarten 101, day one. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
A doctor, a teacher, president.
A podcast host.
A podcast host. Me? Podcast. Dad would have flipped out.
Yeah. So those were the reviews. So obviously we have a lot of different takes, but I think it's nice to see that this movie's getting its second life.
I love it.
Let's talk about kind of what people were like, what the interviews were saying about the movie at the time. Do you have anything that Brittany had kind of said like when she was interviewing about the film?
I saw an interview and it was such a cute interview. It was the one I was talking about earlier where her and Marley Shelton, I think is her name, who plays Ingrid. Marley Shelton. They were being interviewed in Dallas, I think, and it was like this cute older Texas lady, and she had a little Southern accent, and she was like, "Are you girls? You're obviously friends in the movie. Are you friends in real life?" And they were like, "Well, we knew each other. We knew of each other before the filming, and we were acquaintances." And she's like, "But funnily enough, we became better friends once the movie ended, and they started hanging out, and it looked like from this interview that they had a really strong friendship, which I thought was really cute."
That's cute.
And then the lady asked them like, 10 years from now, when you look back on this movie, like what will you feel? And that's like a tough like watch because of what happened to Brittany Murphy. But they were like, Marley said like, "I'll always like whenever I look back, I'll think of New York." She's like, it's just that's when she was like, "It's such a love letter to New York. I'll always think of that." And then Brittany started off with saying that. She was like, "Yeah, I'll always remember my summer in New York with this movie." And she was like, "I'll remember how hot it was." She talked about it was a really hot summer. It was the hottest summer like New York had ever had, or like in the last like so many years or something. And then she's like, "And I'll always think of Dakota." And she was talking about like Dakota Fanning, like what a powerhouse she is. And she was like, she goes, you asked me 10 years? And the lady was like, "Yeah, 10. And she was like, "Okay, so Dakota will be 19. I can't wait to see what she's doing when she's 19. And it's like, it's just like, it's heart-wrenching.
It's so sad.
But like, It's beautiful. And you can just tell, like, she's a lovely soul. And then you can just tell, like, Dakota what had it. You know, she had that
Had
star
it and
quality,
has it.
and people, like, knew that she was going to go on and keep doing great things. And I love that.
Yeah. And you had told me Dakota had done what right before this?
So I was like, okay, this was Dakota's first movie, blah 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 blah. And then I was looking at her IMDb and she's had some like TV credits and things like that. And then I was like, "Oh my God. I totally forgot she was in this movie. Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot what it was too. Sweet Home
She's the
Alabama.
little Reese Witherspoon at the beginning of the movie.
So
What do you want to kiss me for anyhow? Or no, what do you want to marry me for anyhow? So I can kiss you anytime I want." I was like,
that
"Holy
movie's
crap."
crazy.
I totally forgot about that. And
That's
then
so funny. And then she went
I
on
have
to
a fun
do.
piece of trivia later. Yeah,
Okay. Do you want to talk about what she did right after this, or is that related to your
it's related
trivia?
to my trivia.
Okay. So we'll circle back. But on that note, Brittany Murphy really loved doing this movie. She talked like very highly of it in interviews. She was on David Letterman during the press tour, and she said it's the only film I've ever been a part of that has every element from comedy to romance to really good life lessons. It's about believing in yourself and it's not age specific. And when she was saying that, I was like, girl, what about Clueless? Like, I feel like Clueless is the same. And then she did say, like, it feels very similar to Clueless, which obviously was like a career making role for her. And then Dakota Fanning, she was obviously super young, but she gets asked about this movie a lot
Hmm.
because of Brittany. And she has been like equally as positive. Um, she she has always spoken super highly of Brittany, and she said she was very grateful to have been able to work with her. And she said she was such a fun, gentle person who wanted to make every day special for me. And I've been seeing that Dakota was getting asked a lot about the movie like in the last like year or so, because I think she had turned the age that Brittany was when she passed away. So I think people were like, wanting to talk to her about it a lot because of that. Um, but they had a very special relationship when they were on set. So people describe, like, as much as Brittany was a Molly, Dakota was a Ray. Like the people who worked on the film said Dakota was very like professional. She was like an adult in a little girl's body, and they kept forgetting like, oh, this is a child. Like she's so mature. She's like literally a Ray. And so Brittany was kind of like being the Molly to her and trying to make things like fun and make her have more of a childhood on set. And Dakota talked about in an interview that when they wrapped shooting the film, Brittany filled her dressing room with like a bunch of colorful balloons. And then this is iconic and like very indicative of the time period. Got them matching juicy tracksuits with their names embroidered.
Oh my God.
So
I
good.
love that.
And I want
I want
that.
that too.
I want a set right now.
I saw an
Um,
interview, or I think it might have been that same interview that I was talking about. And Brittany Murphy was talking about Dakota, and she was saying like how like yeah, she is really mature and like super professional. She's like, but she also knows she's a kid and like embraces and like doesn't miss out on the kid things. Like she wants to do those things too. And I was like, I feel like I can see that from Dakota even now. Like I can see that she is
yeah.
professional and reliable, and but she also like knows how to have fun and enjoy herself.
I think we would really get along with the Fanning sisters. Like I feel like aligned energy. Like they're so cute and they have fun together and are obviously besties.
I know I
So
love watching all their stuff.
okay. So let's like get into the movie a little bit more.
Okay, so
Um
I have a question for you to kick off us
yeah.
diving into the film even more so.
Yeah.
Emily, do you think this movie is the best female relationships movie?
The best.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's a great question. I feel like the best, I don't know. Like I hadn't thought about it of like what other movies showcase female friendship and relationships. I will say I think this is a really special one because it's like intergenerational friendships, and I think it goes to show like, a younger person can teach an older person something and vice versa. Like it's not just like a strict like this child needed to learn lessons from this adult and like that's the point of the movie. It's like they both learn a lot from each other. I feel like there's some other really good like female friendship movies out there, Clueless being one of them. Like I think about like Sharon Dion and then Ty too, which is Brittany's character. Like they but like a good chunk of the movie's about like their friendship too, which I think is nice. And I feel like sometimes we lose that when we think about like rom-coms, but there really are these like iconic friendships in rom-coms. Like shout out Judy Greer, who always plays the best friend in a rom-com.
Or Catherine Hahn.
There are, or Catherine Hahn. I love Catherine Hahn. So like there are these other female friendship movies, and like we have a lot of good examples like Sex and the City and these shows and like movies that get into it. But I feel like this one is special because of the age. They have so many similarities and differences that they have to work through. So I think it's a special one for sure. I don't know if it's the best one. Maybe.
I love it.
Could be.
Cool.
What do you think?
I'm with you. I don't know if it's the best one, but it's a special one. And I think there is the romantic subplot, but it never is. I don't feel like it's ever resolved. I don't think that that's the point of it at all. I think it's just another like little thing to cause chaos within her life. This movie is about Ray and Molly and their dynamic. And I mean, it's female friendship between Ray and Molly, Ray and her mom, Molly and her friend, Molly and Moo, Ray and Moo.
And Moo is the pig.
Moo is the pig.
Molly's pet pig.
And Moo,
and
she got Moo in Thailand, I think. And Moo means pork in Thai. And I'm like, God, Moo. Poor Moo. She saved Moo.
Poor Moo. Moo was going to be her dinner, and she saved him and brought him back to New York. And Moo was played by a couple of pigs in the movie, a couple of trained pigs. But one of the ones I looked at, his name was Springer, and he was a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig. And they used like a lot of like treats and stuff to make him do his little tricks. But I think Moo is cute. I know you don't like pigs, but I think Moo was cute.
Moo is cute.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever seen a piglet in real life.
I don't think they exist. Like that's a thing people say like,
no,
a piglet.
Like a baby pig.
Baby pig. Yeah. But like small pigs. Moo. But people say like
that they don't stay
exist.
Small.
Like that's a lie to get people to get pigs as pets. But I mean, get a pig as a pet if you want a pig.
Yeah,
like, shout out.
It's crazy.
But I don't want a pig. Well,
no.
I don't know. It's kind of cute, but no. We got Wednesday. Okay. So what's your favorite scene of this movie and why?
Okay. I have a couple favorite scenes. I love the scene when they're on their way to Coney Island the first time.
So good.
And, Ray is trying to act disinterested. Molly's telling Ray what they're going to experience. And she's like, it's like Disneyland. We're going to ride the teacups like at Disneyland. And Ray is just stoic. And Molly's like, haven't you been to Disneyland? She's like, no, I haven't been. Okay. And Molly's like, oh my God, you're so excited. You're so excited. She's like, you're so psyched. You're so psyched. Say it. She's like, okay, I'm psyched. So Ray is staying stoic and strong, but on the inside, that little girl is bubbling up and she's pumped. They get to Coney Island. They go have a hot dog, which I want a hot dog right now on Coney Island.
Yum.
A Coney dog. And then they go to the park and it's closed. It hasn't opened yet for the season. And it's just another disappointment for Ray and just a string of disappointments. And Molly is just like, feels like she's failed Ray. But it's just such a lovely scene because like we're excited that they're going to Coney Island and we're just as upset when it's closed. And you're just like, you're sad for them, we're sad for us because we're gonna miss out on the visuals of seeing them having a great time in Coney Island. Like, yay! So it's just a really interesting scene, and then they get back on the subway and they're having to go home, and everything's just kind of falling apart. I guess that's kind of like that mid film, the arc or some whatever they would say, and then the rest of the movie is gonna go like that's kind of the midpoint of the film where things need to start getting resolved. Too much bad is happening.
Yeah.
And then I did another rewatch last night to prepare for this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is right when they get back from that, and Molly is divulging to Ray her trauma about losing her parents and why she wanted to go to Coney Island herself and get on the teacups and just spin and forget everything bad that's happening to her. And she starts crying. And, Ray the whole time's been like, just stay mad, then people can't upset you. Like, very Ray. And then Molly starts crying and she's like, I thought if like we went and we could get through this together, like I would be able to get through my trauma. You could do it. You could get through your trauma and we'll be together and supporting each other. And it didn't work out. And she's upset because it was just as big for her as it was going to be big for Ray. And when she starts crying and she like leans into Ray and then Ray like caresses her head, it's like, I was just watching it and I was like, that's such a big, intense thing for an adult to cry in front of a child. Like when it would happen to you when you were little, like you were like you suddenly are the caregiver, like you're the emotional stability for the adult. Support. And that's such an intense thing for a little one to have to deal with. And when she caresses Brittany Murphy's head and she's like really there for her and she shows an emotional vulnerability, I think that's a crack in her armor. And she's like, I don't want to stay mad at Brittany or Molly for this day going wrong. Like, I think that's such a sweet moment. And then I have
like, it's not her fault.
Yeah, she's like, my friend here is going through horrible things too, and I want to be there for her. She's here for me. And I just think it gets her the wheels turning in her head and thinking differently about life. I also love when I was rewatching it last night, I was like, oh, this is such a simple scene, but I kind of love this scene. When Molly's walking through Central Park and she is like so depressed. She's just seen like Neal, the guy she's like hooking up with Ray's mom, Neal. And everything's just falling apart. Like, so she goes to Central Park and she's like, I'm going to jump off this bridge into the lake. And she jumps off and like the little pond in Central Park is not deep. So it's like comes up
2 feet.
Yeah,
deep.
It comes up to like her hips. And I was like, I think it's so funny. The people, the passerbys who start yelling at her. And I was like, this is so New York because they're caring about her safety and well-being, but they're mean about it. They're like, that water is contaminated. This filthy. Get out of there.
Yeah, this old lady's like, that water is contaminated.
They're like, if you don't get out, I'm going to call the police. And she's like, okay, I'm getting out. And it's so funny.
Yeah, she's being so funny. She's like, I'll get out. Like, she's just, and it's obviously just like a funny, like, wake up call moment for her. Like, she thinks she's like jumping into the, like, deep, basically. And then it's like 2 feet. And it's just like comedy of errors. It's so good. But the way people are reacting is so funny. I also have some favorites. So I really like the return to Coney Island. It's a very sad scene, but I think it's really good and really well done. So at the end of the movie, Ray has gone missing. Molly is no longer her nanny, but the mom is like, do you know where she is? Because the mom doesn't know Ray super well. And Molly basically knows that she's going to be at Coney Island. So she goes to Coney Island. She finds Ray on the teacups. They finally spin together. When they get off the teacups, Ray is obviously yakking it up. And
do you think
Molly
when
is, like,
she went to Coney Island, sorry to cut you off, do you think when she went to Coney Island, she was like, I'm going to get a hot dog too?
See, I was thinking about that. I literally just thought about that. I bet she did have a hot dog when she
Oh,
got there.
stop.
I think she had a hot dog. I think she wanted to have the routine that her and Molly had had. And so I think she went and got a little Nathan's hot dog and then was like, I'm going to ride the teacups. And so her and Molly ride together. And then this is right after Ray's dad has passed away. Like, Molly has left the job. She's all alone again. And it's like when she finally just like lets it go, like you can see it, like everything she's been holding together kind of exits her body, and she slaps Brittany Murphy, Molly, and then Molly hits Ray, and then Ray starts like punching Molly's stomach and is just like so upset, and then finally like they hug and it's like very emotional, but you can just tell this little girl has like been rocked this whole movie. And I feel like Dakota's acting is so good for such a like little child.
Yes.
She really brings it, and it's so emotional, and like the scene makes me cry. It really is so special, and you can just like tell they have this special relationship, and it's nice that they finally make it to Coney Island. Obviously, it's under not ideal circumstances, but I think the significance of that moment is like Molly knew where Ray was going to be, and like Ray knows that. Like for her, like she's mad at her. She's not really mad at her. She's mad at like her circumstances, and she's taking it out on Molly. But like Molly's the person who found her and is there for her.
Yes, like she's not surprised
like,
to
Ray
have been
that.
found by Molly at the teacups.
Yeah, so that's her girl, you know. And then, I have another favorite that is kind of like the very end, or the very beginning and the very end tied together. I'm gonna read it to you. So we really like tie up this film in like this fairy tale esque theme. So we open the movie. Molly's super chaotic. She's living in her penthouse. Her apartment's crazy. She's got the pig. Like, it's chaotic. But it opens, we see Molly, and then we hear Ray as the voiceover. And she says,
Are you trying to join the podcast? What does Molly say? Can you tell me? You're going to have to tell us, Emily. Prue doesn't know.
So she says, some fairy tales are true. Most of their stories we make up to help us deal with real life. It all depends on your point of view, but here are the facts. There was once a princess who lived in a castle high above the streets of an enchanted kingdom. The king and queen were long gone, but they left her with the treasure that she would stay a princess forever. On the eve of her 22nd birthday, a great celebration was planned. So that's like the setup of the movie. We go into Molly's birthday party. It all happens from there. But then the end of the movie, we go back to Ray's voiceover, and she ties up this quote by saying, every story has an end, but in life, every ending is just a new beginning. And it really is this like new beginning for Molly and Ray. They're going to be friends. They've had this journey. And that brought me to a question I wanted to ask you. What do you think Molly and Ray's relationship looked like after this movie ended?
Girl, I was going to ask you that too. Where are they now? Is this the same question?
I wasn't thinking of where are they now. I was thinking like right after. How do you think things changed?
I think that they probably had the best summer together. I feel like they go into summer. They probably have this like magical summer together in New York City. And then I bet like things kind of slow down for a second. But I feel like they definitely stay in each other's lives. Because when we get to my question about where are they now, I think that they're still wrapped up in each other for sure. But it's like it's different because I feel like things are gonna start getting like Molly's going to school and then Ray's going to school. Like, what does that look like? Do they have time to see each other? Are they making time? Like, what are the vibes? Does Ray go to boarding school? Does Ray go to camp? Like, is she staying in the city? I don't know what the vibes are.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree. I feel like they would have had like a summer of fun, and then I think Molly would have always been there for Ray. Like, she would have always been in her life, and they really did have this like special bond. But obviously, as you get older, relationships change so much. So I don't know
They would have been MySpace
sadly
friends.
that they would have.
They would have been Skyping. They would have
Yeah.
been on MySpace.
Yeah, they were like, we have this new innovation. It's perfect. But I think, things change. And I think it's sad that like we end the movie with Molly not being her nanny. I think that had to happen, but it's a bummer that they can't be together every day because they bring out the best in each other and the worst at times. But I think they would have always been in each other's lives.
I think so too.
Do you want to talk about your least favorite scene?
Yes. So my least favorite scene is when Neal comes to her apartment for the first time and they're eating Pez on the balcony and he's like talking like, I'm sober and I don't have sex and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Pez, and being all sexy and he's like being a tool. And I hate that he's like, I'm celibate, blah, blah, blah. And then he immediately has sex with her and then immediately has sex with Ray's mom. Like, okay.
Yeah, what?
So I feel like,
No.
no, he's a loser.
That is my least favorite too. Do you think the movie needed the romance?
It's like, I don't even know, because it's obviously like cute boy Jesse Spencer from Winning London fame. He's so cute when he's dating Mary Kate or Ashley in that movie, and we love him. And then he was on House or Dr. House or whatever that show was. He was on that show, but like I don't find anything about him attractive in this movie. Like, I don't think his music is good. I don't think he looks good. But I'm also just coming at it from I'm frustrated by you. And I can see we're in 2003. We were all like, oh my God, he's the hot musician. Like, we want her to be with him. And she needs to stop being so chaotic and be more grown up so she can be with this guy. And I'm like, no, he's being a jerk and kind of not meeting her where she's at. But then she's ill-suited to him too because she's trying to do anything to make him like her when it's like, do you even like this guy? You don't know him. And I think she realizes that, like, when she's upset and comes out and he's like, I haven't had any good music since I was last with you, you're my muse, blah blah blah. And she's like, all you do is take and take from me and I have nothing to give you right now.
Yeah.
So
like, no. Yeah, he's not it for me. And I think if I had watched this when I was a lot younger, I would have been like, Neal, I love him. But watching it now, I'm like, no, this guy is garbage, first of all. And like, so Molly's dad was this rock star who was super famous, and he had this famous song, Molly Smiles, that's like about her. And like immediately upon meeting her, Neal is like, oh, you're like Molly Gunn, the song. And he's like singing the song at her. And it's just like no social awareness. Like, why would you bring up someone's like biggest tragedy of their life that was like on the TV and like in pop culture the first time you meet them? That's what you're going to bring up. And then I think it's just obvious that he's in it with Molly because of who her dad is. Like, that's part of it. He wants to be a rock star, and she's like rock star Nepo baby, basically.
And when he goes to her apartment for the first time and sees the room with all the guitars and he just picks one up immediately, Ew. I'd be like, I would have the biggest ick from that. I'd be like, who is this guy coming in? What? No.
Speaking of ick, should we talk about our cringe peak?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah, so this is our cringe peak. And it's just literally things that give us the ick or make us cringe in the movie. And I've already talked about it, so oops.
Period. What was yours?
Mine is when Neal says he's sober and celibate, but immediately jumps into bed with Molly and then jumps into bed with the mom. Gross. And just Neal sleeping with the mom, period. And then when the mom yells like, don't forget the sugar, when he's in the kitchen, like getting them coffee or whatever. I'm just like, nasty. Like, is there any redemption for Neal after having slept with the mom? Like, would Molly ever get with him now?
I think it's debatable based on the ending.
Well, see, I'm like, I feel like that ending is no. There's nothing he can do. Okay. What's your
No.
cringe peak?
Okay, I'm going to talk about my cringe peak and then let's come back to the ending. So my cringe peak, it's basically everything with Neal because I really just hate him and I don't think he should be a part of this movie. But a part that gives me the ick is when they go to dinner, like when they go out to dinner. Like normally they're in the apartment, but when they go out to dinner and Brittany is talking to him about how it's been like a girl fest at Ingrid's apartment.
Oh, I have
And
another
she
ick. I
says,
have another ick. Don't let me forget to bring it
yeah,
up.
okay. She says in this scene, like, she's talking about how it's a estrogen fest at Ingrid's apartment. And she's like, a girl needs a little testosterone injection every once in a while. And that I was just like, ew.
Pick me.
Immediately no.
That is pick
Yeah,
me.
immediately no. So that was like what gave me the biggest ick. I did not like that. And
That feels written by a man.
yeah, it's giving male coded and it's just like, nope, no thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm with you on that. And then
So
like
that was
she's
mine.
chatting and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I got a record deal." And she's like, "Oh my God, why didn't you tell me?"
Mm-mm.
He was like, "Well, this is the first time I've been able to speak this whole time." I'm just like, "Why do men hate
Ew.
women so much?"
Yeah, what? Okay. No. Was that your ick?
No, my ick
The other ick?
was well, okay. So Molly is still living with Ingrid and she's like, "Oh, I have a date tonight with a tech guy," or something like that. And
Oof.
Ingrid's like, "I was hoping you were going to remember that we had plans tonight." Which I was like, "Oh,
Bad, Molly. Bad. Bad,
yeah."
bad, bad. Girl, your girlfriends come first forever and always.
And I feel like this scene is so weird. And it's just like they were like, "How do we get Molly into Huey's apartment?" Which I was like, "Why does this even need to happen?" It's weird. Like I guess they're trying to like get her into her how do we get her into our own apartment? We got to keep moving her around. But it's just like this scene feels so strange because it feels like it comes out of nowhere. But she's like, "I thought you were going to remember that we had plans tonight." And she's like, "You'll have more fun without me or whatever." And the friend's like, "I paid for this already and we've had this plan for over a month." And she was like, "I pay you rent. It doesn't mean I owe you all of my free time." And I was like,
I hate
"What?"
this part.
It's like it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't feel like Molly at all. Like I guess it's trying to be like Ingrid's too controlling and Molly doesn't want to deal with that. But it's like, whoa, Molly, you made like huge plans with your friend who's like it's a planned event, it's a reservation. She's
Yeah.
excited about it. You really let her down. That's crap.
I actually, this part like really hit me and I did not like it. And I do not like Molly's behavior. And I feel like an Ingrid. Like, I am an Ingrid girly. Like, Ingrid is always with her girlfriends. She has her like, weekly like yoga thing. She likes to bake. She likes her cozy apartment. Her, like, she has her things. And she's doing I mean, she's really hard on
Uh-huh.
Molly, I will say. But she's like doing a lot for her. Like she's doing the best she can to help her. And Molly, like this moment is such a slap in the face. And I think it's the only moment in the movie that's like doesn't feel like Molly. So I think
Yeah,
she's trying to figure it out, you
I
know?
know. And I don't know. I feel like an Ingrid too in a lot of ways. I've definitely been the tough love friend, and I'm definitely the friend that like does hang out with the girlies and like wants to do for the
Mm-hmm.
girlies. And like I think I kind of may have had moments like this where it feels like a slap in the face or like the girl picking the guy over the friendship, and you're just like, ugh. So
Yeah.
I'm with Ingrid on this. I don't always agree with Ingrid. I feel like sometimes the tough love doesn't come off correctly, but I also feel like
Mm-hmm.
my tough love doesn't always come off correctly. So I can understand. I guess I
Yeah.
really am an Ingrid, but with like a Molly twist. Um,
Yeah, you're kind of like a happy medium of the two.
but yeah, I don't love that scene. And then there's another, it leads into the next scene that it kind of gives me cringe vibes, and I wanted to see if you notice it. But when she's
Mm-hmm.
staying with Huey, it's not really cringe. It's just like, huh, do you get the vibes that Huey likes Molly?
See, I have thought about this when I've watched it and I can't tell.
Because
Like,
it looks like it's when she's at his apartment and they're talking and they're sitting on the sofa. And I think that they've just seen Neal's music video. And she's like, oh, who is it? Pause. Okay, and we're back. So we did have a little bit of technical difficulties, just in case we look any different, but we're gonna try to make this as seamless as possible. Um, my mic died, and we had to charge it up a little bit. So I've had a little bit of food, a little sparkling water, and I'm ready to get back into it.
and we're back just like that to discuss Cringe Peak.
Yeah, and I was asking you, so do you think that Huey likes Molly?
That is like something I really can't tell. I feel like I don't think I picked up on it like the first time I watched it, but I feel like upon rewatching it, it does seem like there's like a very like half-baked something just like in the way he looks at her, but it's never like anything he ever says or like acts upon, and I almost like to believe that there is like nothing at all and that he's just like a great friend who's like letting her come live with him because I'm a big proponent of like men and women can be friends platonically. So I like to believe that there is nothing there. But there is like a slight way he looks at her that's a little like questionable, but I want to hope that no, I think.
I know, and I agree with you. Like on the first watch, I didn't really notice it, but now that I've watched it like 5 times in the last couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the part when they're chatting on the sofa, and I think it's right after we've seen Neal's music video, and they're
Sheets of
talking, and
Egyptian cotton, na na
na
na
na
na
na na na na
na.
na na. Um, they're sitting on the sofa, and she's like, "He's the Lizard King reincarnated." And he's like, "I'm the Lizard King." And he's like, "All you need to do
Yeah.
is focus on me, blah, blah, blah." And he like gets like kind of close to her face. And then the doorbell rings and it's Moo being dropped off. And like the doorbell rings and he looks ugh, like a moment was just
Oh,
interrupted.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, like was he leaning in to like trying to start make this romantic? Like what's happening here? But then like that's kind of all it is.
And it's never like a thing at any other point. Like we see him, he's always hitting on girls throughout the movie. Like when they're having the sidewalk sale, he's like chirping up women who are buying Molly's clothes. And then like when they're out, like the night they're out when um it's Ray's like dance recital and the mom isn't there, she like Molly is out with Huey and he's like flirting with other girls and
Well,
stuff.
he's
So it's
trying to
never
get Molly and or like I guess Molly is wanting to do it too, but like about to like take a shot or like bite a lime at the same time as another girl and it's gonna be that
and
and
he's
like
like into
she gets
it.
just yeah, and she gets distracted and he's like, "No." But then like when so like he's not solely focused on anything happening with Molly. And like when he comes to tour her apartment with her at the end, like he's like, "You don't need to move out," but it doesn't feel like relationshipy. It feels more
Mm-mm.
like friends. So I'm just like I think like you said, half baked. Like maybe it was a plot line they were gonna pursue, and then they're just like, no, or maybe the two of them just have some type of chemistry, and it's
Yeah. Or like he was just like
yeah,
playing it off like that, like thinking that's how that kind of guy would be or something. But
yeah,
it's like there but not there. And like you
yeah,
can read into it or not, I feel like.
yeah. So it's like it's not really a cringe for me that happens. It's more like a have I seen this movie
Why?
too many times, or like what is happening? It's the
Would
like I
you
don't know,
have it like what's your ideal? Would you have wanted that or have had none of that? I
none of
guess.
that.
Yeah, I agree. Like I
Like
just want them to be besties.
I feel like I might be coming off as like anti-man or anti-relationships and stuff, but I do love like romance. I just don't feel like it has a place in this movie.
No, the movie is about Molly and Ray and their
Yeah.
relationship. I think like
Yeah.
what the romantic relationship adds is just like another layer of chaos and like another example of Molly like not coming into her full self. And like
Yeah.
that's what she does in by the end of the movie is like she
Hmm.
realizes who 22-year-old Molly is. But on that note, what is something you would change about this movie if you could?
No Neal. But
Yeah.
and you know what? That's kind of like my first rewatch take because it's like you're saying, like he adds the extra layer. And like when I keep rewatching it, I was grappling with myself, like, God, I really hate this stuff. But I like the more I'm watching it, the more I'm like seeing the nuance of Brittany Murphy's acting and like how we need to see her being kind of a like quote unquote like pathetic
Mm-hmm.
woman who like is looking for his validation and spending $2,000 on sheets for him and like
Mm-hmm.
doe-eyed and like we have to see her be like that so that she can have the moment at the end where she's like, I don't have anything to give you. Like I don't have time for you right now.
Yeah.
Like she like has to grow out of that vibe, I guess. So it's like, oh, we do need Neal for that. I think I would probably take out like let that be the end of Neal. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
need him at the end. Like I don't think that is important.
It's not even that she's like pathetic, it's that like she's had like no validation at all probably her
Yeah.
whole life. Like she's lived in the shadow of her parents and her dad and his legacy, and then like them dying, and then like that's basically what her life has been about. And so she's not
Hmm.
getting like any source of anything from anyone until she meets Ray, and that's like a complicated relationship. And then like once she like redesigns Neal's jacket, then these people are like, wait, you have like potential to be a designer and you can like be doing this, and she's going to go to school for it and she's going to do all these things. So it's like she's learned, to get her validation and like not even validation but like fulfillment in herself from other places. So then that
Yeah.
relationship is kind of like neither here nor there. I do have something I would change also. This is like specific and niche, and I've said this before, and I thought this is where it was going, but it didn't. So like Molly has talked about Coney Island, that she went there after her parents died and she wrote the teacups, and then like she wanted to take Ray there. They end up back there at the end of the movie, obviously. I think when they're spinning and it's going round and round and round, there should have been a cut like at the end, like once they keep spinning, that turns like Brittany Murphy into like little Brittany Murphy. And it's like little kid Brittany Murphy
Two
with
little
little
girls.
kid Dakota, and it's like two little girls spinning. Like that would have been iconic
That'd have been cute.
cinematography. Like
That'd
that's
have been
like,
cute.
because that's what it is. It's like the two of them, like they're girls together, and it should have like that was obviously like a pivotal moment in Molly's life, and I think it would have been nice if we like just had this like sweet little moment of her like going back to that then. You know?
Yeah.
Like wouldn't that have been cute?
That's interesting. Yeah. I like it.
So if I was directing the movie, I would have done that. Anything else you would have
Period.
changed?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I just had a thought. This is kind of just me being like, ugh, I put this in my notes. Like, I wish she would have gotten her apartment back in the end.
I know. The
Like, I know,
apartment is sick.
I know she's supposed to grow and like she's found her New York apartment and she's going to pay for it on her own and live like, starting fresh and you can't go back or whatever. But I just wanted to be like, I wish there could have been like an FU moment to the narky ass neighbor and
Yeah.
like got her apartment back and like she starts fresh. I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
me.
I mean, that apartment was iconic, and it's like a
Hmm.
tragedy that she lost it. I actually had some details on the apartment as one of my fun facts about the film. So obviously, Ray lives in an apartment building right across the street from the Met,
Hmm.
and then Molly's apartment building is the Ansonia, which is an apartment building on the Upper West Side. That is one of the apartments that they based Only Murders in the Building on,
Ooh.
which
I
we
love
love
that
that
show.
TV show. And the apartment building in that show is called the Arconia. This is the Ansonia. Very similar. Obviously, some inspo there. And then also, that apartment building is right by the Hotel Empire, which is a hotel by the Lincoln Center. That is the hotel that Chuck Bass owns in Gossip Girl. So, shout out to all the Gossip Girl fans out there. That is like where it
Nice.
is in the city.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How do you think this movie would be different if it was made today?
I think if the movie was made today, maybe the Neal storyline would either be cut or it'd be fleshed out a little bit differently. I think there would probably have been more so that there's like a stronger through line or something,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. I think I don't know. I'm trying to think. I just feel like it's such a perfect movie. Um,
I feel like it really does stand the test of time. Like I don't know that there's that much that you would need to change for today. Like it would work today. I feel like maybe the Neil story would have been different. Like I could see where it could have been like a guy she'd kind of been with on and off for a while. Like I feel like they might have done it like that. So it's like been a layer of chaos in her life and it's like one of the things that's holding her back maybe. And then like honestly, if it was made today, it probably would have been like she was with some like rock star guy on and off who she's like he's like also a rock star nepo baby or something trying to make it and they're on and off and he kind of sucks and treats her like crap and whatever. And then she starts nannying this girl and the nanny has like or the little girl has like a hot tutor who's like really smart and then like Molly meets the tutor and then like ends up with Ray's tutor. Like it would have been something like that to like make her get to someone
yeah.
better.
Do you think if it was made now that there would be like a male counterpart to her that she does end up with in the end? Is that
I think they would have kept it. Like if Devil Wears Prada 2 is any example, like apparently we have to have the romance. Like even when it's not a romance, they're like, let's add like one half-baked scene with a guy because they
because
think
God
that's what people
forbid.
want. But it's like if we're gonna do a romance movie, I want a romance movie. But if
Yeah.
we're not doing it, I don't. It doesn't land, you know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I
I
don't
feel
think it's
you.
necessary, but like if I could change anything about this movie, actually, I would change how long the scenes with Neil are. Like for how
We're such Neil haters.
for how like it's crazy for how long they are, like how half baked to say that a million times, like how half baked that plot is or like his vibe is cuz it's like why does he like her? Why is he staying? Like what? You know?
Well, and like whenever those scenes come up, they just like drain the life out of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Like you just want to see Ray. You want to see like the
Yeah.
fun, not
Yeah.
this like guy who's like bringing down the vibe. Which
Yeah, because he's
okay,
not nice. He's a
let's talk
jerk.
about the ending.
Okay.
Okay, so we've had some debates on this ending. So at the end of the film, Ray has a well, so Molly auctions off her dad all of her dad's guitars because she needs the money. They end up selling to an anonymous bidder on the phone for $75,000. Cut to the very end scene. Ray has her dance recital, and Molly obviously goes. She's running late, but she makes it from her like Parsons new school interview or something to be like a fashion designer. She gets to the recital, and it's like Ray's doing like a special solo performance. And basically, Ray does her dance, and so Neal comes out during her
Ew.
dance and ew exactly and she's like confused kind of she's like wait what why is he
And
here like
all
I
the
haven't
girls in the
spoken to him
audience are like flipping out.
like
Like,
falling
oh my
over
God, why is
yeah
he here?
and so
And I'm
she
like, oh my God, why is he here?
why is he here and why has he been here the whole time
Yeah,
like
like, ugh.
no more Neil and so Molly's like wait what and he sings Molly Smiles the song that he like had to freaking sing at her right when he met her for like no reason. But he sings that, Ray does her dance, and then all of her dance classmates bring out the guitars. So someone has bought the guitars.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think? What have you always thought?
I, this is so funny because I forgot that me and you have had this conversation, I guess, when we watched it last time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. But I had always thought that he bought it and that was supposed to be his redeeming quality that makes her like him again. And then I totally blanked that I guess you thought that she bought them. Is
Yeah.
that where we're
So,
going? Because I saw an interview with Dakota and she like from recently and she was like, "Oh yeah, my favorite part or something is when I bought the guitars and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Wait, holy shit."
Yeah, so when we first watched this like a couple months ago before watching it for this podcast, I was like we were talking about it and that was like that shook me that you thought that. I was like, "No, Ray buys the guitars. Like Ray got her the guitars." And you were like, "Oh." And then I think we had both seen the Dakota interview after that and I was like, "Yeah, like Dakota was saying like when Ray buys the guitars." So when I'm watching it, I'm like, this is the sweetest thing ever. Like she's getting these guitars. And Ray had seen the guitars before
Yeah.
earlier in the film. And it hits like harder knowing that she is going to eventually buy them because she's like, you should get rid of this. It's just like junk and it's going to gather dust and blah, blah, blah. And then Molly's like, well, this is like all I have left of my dad. Like, I want it. And like you can see there's like a push and pull there. Like Ray's like again, the wheels are turning of her trying to like understand Molly's POV and like why
Mm-hmm.
she is such a hardo, like why herself, Ray, is such a hardo about like letting things go and moving on and not having like not staying connected to the past in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like she learns a lot from that and then like redeems herself from that moment by buying these guitars. Another thought I had though, like as I was thinking about all of this, is I was like, Neal wouldn't have been able to afford the guitars.
See, I always thought, like, when I was on the camp of, oh, I guess Neal bought these, is like he just like made a ton of money from his new single. He's been like signed for a record deal. He can spend $75,000 on these guitars. And
See,
you know
I
what's
was like,
interesting?
I don't think so. I don't think he's got
So
it.
I saw a TikTok this week, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
this girl laying in bed, like completely distraught. And like a personal TikTok video that's made, and it, like the meme words over it was like, when you find out that from a Dakota Fanning interview that she's the one who bought the guitars and not Neal. So like other people have thought this, and that's what triggered me to be like, wait, what? And then I went and found the interview with Dakota, and I was like, holy crap. And then so when I rewatched it after seeing that through this lens, the auction happens while Molly and Ray are upset. Like they're in a
Mm-hmm.
tiff. Like they're not reconciled yet. So there's love there, you
There's all
know?
like there's always love between them, and Ray like knew what to do. Like she was gonna get those guitars, and I think Neal like there's this moment like when the recital is happening when Neal comes out, and it just kind of seems like I think they say whoever's announcing or whatever is like, oh, and like she's brought out this person to help her out a little. Like it's just like they're trying to make it apparently not for a lot of people, but they're trying to make it clear like this has been planned by Ray, you know? And so
Yeah.
I'm just like, she bought the
Well,
guitars, she planned this event, like this is her.
and that leads me like, I always thought that before finding this out, that Neil bought these guitars to say, I'm sorry
Boo.
to Molly. But now that it's like, no, it's Ray saying, I love you to Molly. Why do we need Neil? Like,
No,
no,
Neal didn't need to
no.
come back. I guess they wanted to have him come back to sing the little song.
Ugh.
But Neal is such a frustrating character. And there will be movies that we're going to watch where we're going to love the man and like he's going to be great and iconic and like we are lover girls and we love boys when they're acting right. This one is not it's not even that he's acting wrong, it's just it's like what is he giving, you know?
Yeah, because he doesn't even like her.
No, and that's what's frustrating. So, but the ending is perfect. The ending is beautiful.
I love it too because well, I love the final scene because I love the lighting and the textures and the pink with the green lighting hitting Dakota Fanning's head. And I was like, oh, these are such colors that I love from the early 2000s. Bring it back. But also, I noticed that when she's dancing in her cute tutu that Brittany Murphy's character has made for her, she's wearing her hair down and loose. When in
Aww.
ballet, traditionally you would wear it up tight, and that's how she wears it for rehearsals and stuff. But she's like letting loose, and like she does the freestyle dancing, like she like is never like doing ballet in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a little bit of Molly linking into Ray.
Yeah, because earlier in the movie when she's at dance class, they have freestyle for 5 minutes in the class, and Ray is automatically like, I'm out of here, and she leaves, and Molly's like, why would you leave? Like, that's the most fun part.
Yeah.
And Ray is like, no. Speaking of which, there's a scene right after that. Do you want to talk about the scene when they're in Central Park
I
with
love
the
this
when she
scene.
grabs the hand? That's one of your favorites, I know.
Yes. I didn't mention this in my favorite scenes because I was like, oh, we'll probably pick it up with like other things, but this is one of my favorite scenes is right after their ballet class. They're walking through Central Park on the way back home, and Molly is like loosely dancing around in free spirit, and it's driving Ray crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray gives Molly the middle finger, and Molly grabs her hand and like to stop her from this gesture. And Ray is like, ow, you're hurting me. And Molly is like, well, you hurt me. Don't ever do that again. Take it back. And she's like, take it back. And the little girl, Ray, is fine, like, fine, I take it back. Like, and it's just this moment of like Molly taking charge, saying, this, what you're acting like is not okay. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not nice. And it's making Ray, even though she fights through it for a second, like, kind of understand that maybe, oh, this like harshness that I have is just not okay. And I don't want to be like this. I don't want to hurt this woman who is my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can like see
And
her eyes change in that moment. Like she's like, "Oh,
and I love it. And what else I love is that when she gives Molly the middle finger, Dakota Johnson is so cute. Like she's
Fanning,
obviously a little girl. Oh, Nicole Fanning is a little
Dakota,
girl. Dakota, what'd I say?
Nicole."
Nicole, Ray.
Yeah.
Ray is obviously a little girl who is probably just loving all this crazy stuff she has to do in this movie. And
Yeah.
whenever she has to give, because she has the middle finger a couple times and she says curse words. And when
Mm-hmm.
she does, you can tell that they try to linger as much as they can, but they have to shoot away because she has a little smile on her face. And
She's
it's
so
like,
cute.
it's so, like, she is delighted to have to do this. And she's like, thinks it's probably so funny. And you can just see it on her face. Her eyes tighten up, her mouth like perks up on the sides, and it's so cute. Like when one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Molly is picking her up after school and there's a big fight happening outside the school, and Molly is like, we're not supposed to fight, blah blah blah, what's happening? She was like, this girl is laughing at me because her au pair says that my nanny was a slutbag whore.
She's
And
so
like you
excited
can
to say.
just see it on her face that she thinks that is so funny. She gets to say this bad word and it's so cute. And that's one of my favorite lines.
You can tell she's like already laughing when she says it. Like
Yeah.
she's like, it's gone. She couldn't.
I love that part. Her
It's
au
so funny.
pair said that my new nanny was a slutbag whore. And it's like, wait, why would she even say that?
Yeah.
Who is her au pair? What the
Yeah, like
hell?
why is the au pair getting involved? Um, on that note, I have a few other favorite quotes I wanted to talk about from the movie.
Okay.
So obviously we have fundamentals are the building blocks of fun, which is
You would
iconic,
like
which is
that
something that Ray
quote.
says. And then it comes back at the end when Molly says it in her interview. So I like the callback. And then I also like a few Ray isms that I feel like are very me. One is when they're at Molly's birthday party and she says, "This place is so loud, it's giving me a migraine." Me, I hate loud
This
places.
place is so loud.
She has such an attitude about everything. It's so funny. And then when they're leaving in the party, she's like pulling her mom out of the party, like pulling her into their town car. And she's like, this is literally something I have said, like prior to seeing this movie. She goes, I need 8 hours, mom. If I don't get 8 hours, my immune system crashes, which is literally me every night before bed. Like if I don't
I
get
know.
eight
It's
hours,
like
mm-mm.
anytime. If me and Emily are on vacation, if we're hanging out, she's like, okay, 9 o'clock, I gotta go to bed. And I'm like, girl, I'm a night
Nine
owl.
o'clock is bedtime. 9 o'clock, like my dream is like go to bed at 9 o'clock, wake up at 7. That's perfect. That's ideal. So those are some of my favorite quotes. Oh, one other one that's my favorite is at the end when Molly tells Ray that she's not going to work for her anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
Ray is like, grown-ups never stay friends with kids. Or Ray says that. I don't know if I said Ray.
Yeah,
Ray
Ray.
says, grown-ups never stay friends with kids. And Molly says, I don't see any grown-ups around here. And Ray says, I do.
I do.
Because Molly has grown up during this movie.
I have another quote that reminds me of you.
Uh-oh.
Because, like, I am a human being that's grown up in the 90s and the 2000s, and I like to eat things and drink things that have always been in my life. And now that we're all becoming very health conscious and wellness forward, we're like, oh, maybe I don't want to have yellow 6 or red dye 40 in my foods, blah, 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah. So, of course, I don't want those things, but sometimes I'm just like, damn, why do Cheetos have to be so bad for me? You know,
Mm-hmm.
this quote made me think of you. Fruit punch? Why don't you just drink cyanide? At least it's quick. It's like Ray was ahead of her time.
She was on it. Yeah. I mean, I'll have a treat. You know, I have things when I want to have them, but for the most
Oh,
part.
it's like the other day I was eating leftovers from a local restaurant, and they were in like, the plastic or like the styrofoam box or whatever. And I was on FaceTime with Emily and I'm eating. And she's like, "Did you warm that up in the microwave?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Just keep eating it. I'm not going to yuck your yum." And I was like, "Emily, I know. I
That's not
know
what I
it's
said.
bad."
I said, I don't want to yuck your yum, but next time, take it out and heat it up in a bowl.
And
You
I
can still use the
said,
microwave.
I warmed up this part in the microwave, but I couldn't get the dip out of the styrofoam.
I think that's totally fine. It's all
Why don't
about
you just drink
balance.
cyanide? At least it's quick.
It's all about balance of the toxins.
So funny. So funny.
Yeah, I'm particular about things for sure, just like Ray, but not too particular. I'm flexible at times.
Okay, so another favorite line I wanted to talk about is actually another favorite scene I have. And I think it's such a great scene because it shows us what an amazing actress Dakota Fanning is at such a young
Mm-hmm.
age. And it's the scene in the kitchen when they've just done the dishes and they're arguing, and it's like Molly's first day on the job, and she's like, "I quit and I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah." And Ray is like, "You leave when I tell you to leave. You're working for me," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Molly's like, I don't work for you. I'm employed by your mother. And
Period.
like, this was like a big, I think, like in the trailer and stuff, this like moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Dakota's like, "Take a look around. Do you see her anywhere? News flash. You're not gonna." But it's like the way she says it, like you watch it and you're like, that's funny. She's like a cute, precocious, like little bossy girl. But when
Mm-hmm.
you watch it again and again, like we have, you see it in
Mm-hmm.
her face. She's like, the way she looks, like she tilts her head. She's like, um, "Take a look around. Do you see her anywhere?" Like she tilts her head a little bit and she's looking at
Stop!
Brittany
I'm gonna
Murphy so
cry.
hard. I know. Do you see her anywhere? News flash. You're not gonna. And like she shakes her head when she said, "You're not gonna," and her eyes are so tight. And it's just like this little girl. It's just like, I am alone. Like it's
Yeah.
me here. And it's just so like powerful. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching, it makes me tear up when I'm watching it because it's just this little girl that's so alone. And
Yeah.
she's
And
literally
then
like crying for help to Molly.
yeah, and
But
then like
yeah.
for Molly, it's like she's been there. So when the little
Yeah.
girl is saying that, Molly's like, yeah, like Molly knows how to handle her because Molly's been through it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting because that's like such a viral, like TikToky moment. The like news flash, you're not gonna like people joke about it
Yeah.
on TikTok. It's like such a trend, which I love. But like
Me too.
when you really dissect that moment in the movie, it's like a lot heavier than just like
Yeah.
a sassy 8-year-old or 9-year-old or whatever.
I know. It's so
But
interesting.
Dakota's acting is like it's iconic. She
Yeah, because
really
she
is in the industry she's meant to be in.
she can carry the humor and the darker moments, and just like I can't say enough good things about her in
Hmm.
this movie.
Yeah, she really eats in this movie.
Hmm.
One like a few fun facts I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the clothes in the movie. So I
Okay.
have a question for you, but I'm going to talk about a few things I want to touch on first. So the clothes in this movie are really good. Shout out to the costume designer. Everything is very Y2K, and it's a lot of Moschino. I did some
Hmm.
digging on like what all Molly is wearing. She's wearing a lot of Moschino. I'm going to talk about a few of my favorites that we get to see. So Molly's birthday dress is a vintage blue marine dress right off the
I
runway
want.
that
I
is
want.
impeccable. So good. Then we have the dress she's wearing at the sidewalk sale with like the
Hmm.
patchwork dolls. That
Iconic.
was a Moschino. The line was called like cheap and chic, and I think it was like one of
Hmm.
those diffusion lines that Moschino had done in the 90s and like early 2000s. And
Famously,
I
that line was also worn a lot by Fran Drescher in The Nanny.
shout out, we
Hmm.
love. And I saw that obviously Brittany Murphy is super tiny. I saw that they really wanted that dress to be in the movie. They were like, we need this dress, but they couldn't find the
The white
size
dress.
anywhere, the white dress. So
Uh-huh.
that is a size 12, and they
Hmm.
like cut it up and like basically redesigned it and refit it to fit Brittany. Um so they like could not find her size in it, which is crazy because it
Wow.
was like sold out everywhere, and like it was such a popular dress at the time. So I thought that was interesting. And if you look online, there's like skirts and other dresses with that same like doll patchwork
I know I've
design.
seen girls on TikTok that have found the dress like at vintage stores and stuff. And I'm like, oh,
And see, I went down a rabbit hole because when I watched this movie, that dress is iconic and I really would want that. But there is something I want from this movie so bad. And it's the shoes that Molly's wearing at her birthday party. They are pink satin sandal heels with like a big embellished star at the front of her foot.
love.
And those are the ones she's wearing when Ray is like, I had shoes like that when I was 8 or whatever. And Molly's like, yeah,
Yeah.
5 minutes ago. And it's just like a sassy little moment between them. But I looked into it. They were Manolo Blahniks, obviously, and I can't find them anywhere. I haven't even seen someone
Oh,
on TikTok who's found them somewhere. So I don't know if they were custom for the movie or what, but those shoes are sick. So if anyone finds them, let me know.
yeah. Shout out.
Do you want to tell us about the dress?
I saw a girl on TikTok who found the birthday dress. And
Oh,
I was
really?
like, yeah. And I was like, mm, I want that for my birthday. I
Yeah.
want that for my birthday.
I think I saw where it was like maybe it had been like a different color on the runway or something, and they had done a custom one for the movie, like in a different shade of like variety of colors or something. I think I saw something about that.
Interesting.
What about tell us about the story of the patchwork dress, which is like the patchwork dress has gone viral for being like the Molly Halloween costume. So people do like Molly and Ray, like Ray
Yeah.
in the schoolgirl costume, Molly in the patchwork dress.
Which I want to do with you at some point.
Yeah, we will.
Um, so it's really cool. The costume designer, Sarah Edwards, um, let me see. It's a vintage dress from the 70s, and it actually belonged to her sister, whose name was Kate, when she was 12, and it had been customized by their babysitter. So like all the like patchwork, embroidery, bedazzlement of the dress. Um, and the name Kate is bedazzled on the back of the dress. It's like on her right shoulder on the back going down the
Mm-hmm.
side of her back, and it's like Kate in like jeweled letters. And Brittany Murphy suggested to the costume designer to wear when wearing the dress to wear like a backpack across her back so that they would
Hmm.
just cover up the name Kate so that they didn't have to destroy the piece and take the letters off, which I think is really cute. And um, so the name is covered up except for a couple scenes. Like there's a scene where she's taking the backpack off and hanging it up in the closet, and you can see the name on it. But it's like
Yeah.
it's not super bold or anything, but if you're looking for it, you can see it. It's cute.
Which is like such a special moment. And also, I feel like the fact that Brittany like came up with the backpack thing and like didn't, because they were gonna like rip the name out of the dress. Like I think that was the
Yeah.
plan. And Brittany like came up with these alternatives. I feel like that just like tells you everything you need to know about her character. Like she was looking out for this costume designer. Like, don't destroy your sister's like memorabilia. Let's find a way to work around it. Which it
And
just
I
seems
love
like
it
that's
too
like
that
who she was.
the costume I love that the costume designer was like, "Wait, my sister has this dress. I feel like it would be perfect for the Molly character." Like it's so funny how like things like that make their way into movies, you know?
Yeah. Well, I saw the
Mhm.
costume designer had said something about like her and Brittany worked really closely to come up with the outfits. And she was like, the goal was to be like, which I guess should be every costume designer's goal. But she said like her and Brittany were like, how do we go about making this really look like a young woman in her 20s who has this really interesting closet and is like putting together outfits every day? Like these are just like
Yeah.
pieces in her closet, not like, fully formed outfits that have been created in advance kind of thing. It's like she's pulling random things. She makes like the lampshade barrette that she like crushes in the beginning of the movie. Like it's like these little moments that have personality rather than like a super polished like put together look.
Especially for this character who ends up going to fashion school to be a designer and stuff like that. Dad, I want to go to
Yeah.
fashion school.
It's literally
Just want to go
that.
to
Speak of
fashion school.
Gossip Girl, it's literally like that. Um do we want to talk about who would be cast in this movie today?
Yeah, I have. Well, okay. I just saw this in my notes. Would you like to know? This is some like internet research, like some trivia I found on IMDb. Do you want to hear some names that were considered for the part of Molly before they landed
Yes.
on
Yes.
um Dakota or Brittany Murphy? So it's
Yeah.
basically just like every actress that was big in Hollywood at the time.
Mhm.
Drew Barrymore,
I can see it.
Kate Hudson,
I can see it.
Piper Perabo.
I don't know who that is.
She was the old. I had to look her up too. She was the older sister in Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh.
Either the older sister or like the girl that gets with the older brother. Like, is that? I
No, I
can't
think it's
remember.
the older sister. That sounds right. Like the one that's with Ashton Kutcher in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and Cameron Diaz, Jennifer Aniston, Renee Zellweger. Who knows if all of these
weird.
names are legitimate? But like, just like every kind of like woman in Hollywood at the time.
I feel like the most I could see is Drew Barrymore and Kate Hudson. The rest of that list
That's what I
doesn't feel
think too.
quite right. Yeah.
I think Cameron Diaz, and Jennifer Aniston earlier in their career. I think they might have been too polished by this time to
Mhm.
be like to escape into those characters. Maybe we knew too
Mhm.
much about them.
And then Renee Zellweger, like she's too Bridget Jones to like do this. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I
Like it's
know.
just like it's not similar enough, but it's like too in the same vein that it doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay, so
interesting.
we're gonna recast the movie?
Yeah, let's recast it.
Okay, so I'm thinking we're recasting with people today. Like if we were
Today.
casting the movie today. Okay.
And I
I
actually
have
I didn't fully flesh this out, so this is interesting.
okay. And I only
Who
have ideas for Molly and Neal. I didn't do anyone else in the movie.
I only did Molly and Neal too. But
Okay,
I
okay.
can come up with some other folks. Like honestly, like Ray's mom could be like a Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon,
Oh
someone like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Could be good. And then for Molly, I was thinking Zendaya
Good shout.
because I feel like she has like the breadth of like the funny, like quirky up to like really elevated serious like
See, to
vibe.
me, she seems like almost too elegant. There's something about
I
her
feel
that's a little
like
too elevated.
well, you haven't seen Spider-Man or Euphoria, and I feel like if you had
That's
seen
true.
those, there's like more breadth that I
Mm.
think she would really be able to get into, like the quirky, like chaotic comedy side. And then for Neal, I had two ideas. I had Leo Woodall, which is the
I
guy
had
from
Leo
One
Woodall
Day.
too.
Okay, yeah. I kind of thought you might have that. And then someone that you do not like, the guy from Queen Charlotte, Corey
Ew,
Mild
I don't
Creased.
like him. I don't like him.
But he is giving Neal, right?
Yeah, he is.
Like
Ooh, I would
he
not like him.
Yeah,
I
I
would
know.
really
I was
hate
like,
Neil.
he actually gives like a very similar vibe to the guy that plays Neal, I think. So, yeah. What is your recast?
For my Molly recast, I had either Rachel Zegler. I feel like she could
Oh,
bring that,
okay.
or Elle Fanning.
Wait, I forgot. I meant to say Dakota Fanning. I was like, Eller Dakota could do it. Eller Dakota. Wait, I want them to do it. I want them to do a remake to do that.
And then for Neil, I
That's really
also
good.
had Leo Woodall and then
Yeah.
Timothée.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm annoyed with Timothée right now. He's got some redeeming to do. See, I was like, when I was doing the recast, I was like going through all my men, and I was like Jacob Elordi, and I was like, no, he's too good for this.
No,
He can't play like a gross boy like this. He's
I mean he
above.
could.
I mean, he could, but I think he's above Neal. I just lost my train of thought. Hold, please. Oh, do you think there should have been a sequel? Do you think there should have been a sequel to this?
No,
No.
no, and I don't think there should be now. But I mean,
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't think. I think I'm not always on board with the sequels. Like I do like sequels, but just
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I think just this moment in time is what we need from them.
I
But
agree.
thinking of that, I had a question for you, or do you have any other thoughts to say on should there be a sequel?
I don't think there should be a sequel, but I think I would have liked a flash forward at the end of the movie. Like if they had flashed to like Ray's first day of school the next year or something. Like just showing like her and Molly continuing. Like even if it's just like I think a cute clip would have been like if they flash forward to Molly's first day of school the next year and like Ray picks her up and they go to like serendipity and like that's like their tradition. Like something cute
Yeah,
like that. And then the movie ends.
something establishing like they're gonna still hang out. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Ray picking up Molly. I like that. Like she
Oh,
might have like a
I meant
later
Molly
class.
picking up
Oh,
Ray.
oh, maybe that's what you said, but I was like in picturing like maybe Molly gets off or Ray gets off at school at 3 and then Molly has like an afternoon class and Ray is like waiting with a black car out in front of the school and then they're going to get serendipity or something.
For some
Like
reason,
how
I'm
was
hung up
class?
on this serendipity thing. Like they have to go to serendipity. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because
I
like
want that.
they would both like going there, I think.
Yeah, like it's very
So
New
in
York.
that vein, I had a question. Okay, where would Molly like this is some hypothetical, just like dreaming on our part. Where would Molly and Ray be today? And I asked him like because I kind of fleshed this. I was on a walk with Prue yesterday and was thinking of this question popped in my head, and I was like, what would their life be like? And I came up with like this background of like everything that would be going on, and I called Emily and was like, hey, I'm gonna ask you this question on the pod. I'm gonna give you some time to think about it because I've been thinking about it. So, what did you come up with? Molly would be 45 and Ray would be 32 today.
Okay. So I think Molly would definitely still be in the fashion world. I think she would either be have her own line like of clothes and accessories. I feel like she's kind of an accessories icon, so maybe something that leans into like the accessories world. She would have her own line. I don't think she'd be working for a brand. Like I think she would very much be doing her own thing
Mm-hmm.
or being like a stylist to celebs, but like a big stylist, like someone who's like super well known.
That makes sense.
And then Molly, I think Molly would be
Oh, wait.
like,
You were saying that would be Ray?
oh, sorry, that would be Molly.
Okay, I was like,
Ray,
whoa. Okay.
Ray would be, no, that would be iconic if Ray had a switch up like that. I think Ray would be like a curator auctioneer situation at like Sotheby's.
Emily!
Or
I said
what?
the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, I said Ray is head of the collections with Sotheby's or the collection at the Met.
I was gonna say the Met, or she's curating at the Met, or like the Cooper Hewitt Museum, or something like that. Like I was like, it's
That is
definitely very
crazy.
intellectual, but still like arts.
Yeah. That's so funny.
And she's
that
a
we both
patron
said
of
that.
the New York City Ballet, obviously.
Oh, for sure. So we
Wow,
have the same
aligned.
vision. That's so funny. We should have the same vision for Ray. Ray is head of curation or collections with Sotheby's or at the Met. And I said, I say she would have married in her 20s to like some rich New York investment guy, but then quickly got divorced or annulled. Because I feel like, I was like, maybe she would be like, I need to get married. I need to be in love. I need to have like this and get it going. And then realizing, I don't want this. Let's break up. And now she would be like in a relationship with like a rare books dealer or something, like a stable, just kind
Oh,
of like going with the flow relationship with that kind of person. And then I said, I think Molly, I could almost see her being a fashion designer, but I kind of want to think her trajectory isn't that linear. Um, like I could see her having done fashion, but then like she got um asked to be like a costume designer for a rock opera Met opera production that's going to be like super modern and edgy, and then she was like
mm-hmm.
the costume designer for that, and then she like fell in love with opera and becomes like an opera designer. Like she loves the environment, she loves the people, and like Ray of course is going to all the productions, all the opening nights and stuff. Like
That's
I see
cute.
it being kind of like that. And I think um maybe she's not married, but maybe she has like a long distance relationship with like someone in the UK or something weird like that. Like she
So
met somebody
true. She would
doing work.
totally have like a lover in another country. She's totally giving
Yeah.
that.
Like
Her
like
and
don't
Neal
be
don't end
here.
up
I'm
together.
no, no. But like some guy she sees a couple times a year, some rich guy somewhere else, and she like can do her own thing here, and when she wants to be with him, she goes to be with him.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think Ray would have gotten married personally. I think I like your book
And
dealer vibe for her. I don't think she would have had that like early marriage in her 20s
oh,
though.
well, you know what I was thinking too? I
Hmm.
think like she meets this guy in college. He's like by the book. He's like a Kennedy or something, you know, a
So
Schlossberg
true.
kind of kind of
Hmm.
situation. He's like, for my image, I gotta get married, whatever. He's rich. She's like, okay, like I need to marry rich because this is my life, blah blah blah. She marries this guy. They both kind of realize it's not for them, but they're gonna stay friends because like intermingling and all this stuff. But she's like, he's got all this money. She gets some of the money too. And I was like, oh my God, this is what happens. The Ansonia is like falling apart. Everybody's moved out, blah 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 blah. Ray has all this
Stop.
money and she buys the Ansonia so that she can like own this property in New York and like rebuild and like do the contracting a la Devil Wears Prada 2.
Hmm.
And Molly gets her apartment back.
Molly gets her apartment back. Help Molly get her iconic apartment back. That's the
Yeah,
like
we just have to get the apartment back.
there's two things or three things we need from this movie. I need the shoes.
Uh-huh.
Molly gets her apartment back. Third thing is they put Charmed Life on Spotify. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
charmed life,
Charmed life,
innocence wild,
innocence wild, Crayola skies
Crayola
for
skies for a
a
thousand miles.
thousand miles.
Spotify, please.
Please, please.
Do you have any final thoughts to wrap us up on Uptown Girls,
Um,
episode 1?
I think this is definitely a cult classic. I think that this, honestly, to me, I think there might be some controversy to what I'm going to say because of Clueless, but I think that this is Brittany Murphy's legacy. I think it's the peak of her powers. I think she's the most beautiful she's ever been in this movie. And um, I just love it. And I love it because it reminds me of us.
Hmm.
And I love the 2000s. I love the coziness of it. And I think it's all around a great film
Yeah,
and it's timeless.
I agree. I don't think it's controversial. I feel like Brittany Murphy's role in Clueless was like much smaller than this, and this like
Hmm.
that set her up to do like a big role like this. I think this movie's iconic. It's very sweet. It's very heartwarming. It's,
Oh,
oh,
I do have something I wanted to say.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to pause you because I gotta go back up to my notes. It's somewhere floating in here.
Hmm.
So my sister Emily loves Alice in Wonderland. And I wanted to talk about the Alice in Wonderland of it all. Where is it? So, dang it, I
Wait,
made all these
what?
notes. I made all these notes. Okay. Neal refers to being at Molly's apartment as stepping through the looking glass. And
Uh
then we
huh.
have the teacups.
Uh huh.
And Molly and Ray are kind of like Alice. They're finding themselves through the chaos that's happening around them, and everything is out of their control. And how do they get through to the other side? Emily,
It's
all
so
of these
Alice
Alice
coded.
parallels. Emily loves Alice.
I love
So
Alice.
I wanted to make sure I brought that up.
That should have been in the movie. They should have gone to the Alice playground statue situation. Like
Oh,
Molly should have
I
taken
I
Ray
would be
there.
that has to be a deleted scene.
We'll
That
have
seems
to look
so
into
on the
that.
nose. Like there has to be like them having a chat in Central Park walking by that.
Because like
Damn.
Molly would have loved that and Ray would have loved that.
Yeah.
Like they both would have liked that statue. Wait,
Yeah.
it's so Alice. I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
I know.
Thank you for
Oh, I'm
bringing
glad
that
I
up.
remembered to say that because I wanted to point that out to you because I was like, oh crap. He does talk about through the looking glass and there are teacups.
I do remember one of the times I watched it, I was like that I clocked that he says through the looking glass. But that it's such a good shout with the teacups and everything. It's very Alice coded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're like surrounded by chaos. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
That's so
Yep.
good.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt your final thoughts, but I had
No,
extra final thoughts.
no, we needed that. That's so
Hmm.
good. So, yeah, I think this movie, it's just like a special, sweet film. It hits all the right emotions. Dakota Fanning is truly a star in this movie. Like, this is star in the making. And she went on to do Charlotte's Web and Cat in the Hat right after
Oh
this,
yeah, that
right?
was my bit of trivia. How many movies has Dakota co-starred with a pig in? Two.
Two. Moo and
Wilbur.
Wilbur and Charlotte's Web. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a really special movie. It's like incredible for Brittany Murphy's legacy, and I do like knowing that people thought this was kind of like the most accurate depiction of her that we have on screen because she does seem like she was such a special person, and the movie's just really sweet. And yeah, it reminds me of us and our vibe, and I think Maggie and I balance each other out very nicely with a bit of whimsy and a bit of structure, and together we're more powerful,
Yeah, stronger together.
stronger together. So, on that note, shout out to Uptown Girls. We love this movie so much.
Yes, I love this
And
movie.
if you liked this movie, some other ideas that could be a vibe. I feel like I've never seen this movie, but we talked about the Nanny Diaries being a
Yeah, it is a similar
somewhat
vibe. I feel
similar.
like it's a little more, I don't know, a little more sad feeling,
Oh,
but it's
yikes.
definitely that.
So I had put that. I'd also put it's different. This was almost my going to be my surprise pick for next week, but then I was like it feels too similar to this. It's different in a way, but similar in some ways. 13 going on 30 just cuz I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
can
it's
see
like the
that.
inner child like, you know, kind of like child adult
Yeah.
dilemma
Yeah,
and like same fashion Y2K vibes.
love.
So those were my two picks that I thought could be like a similar situation.
I love that. I think that's good.
Are you ready to hear what next week's pick is?
Oh my God. I am on pins and needles. I've been waiting to know what is next week's pick going to be. What new movie am I going to be watching?
Do you have any guesses?
Aquamarine.
No, I'm saving Aquamarine for the perfect time because that really is one of my favorite movies and I love it so much and it deserves the right time. So
Okay.
I picked this movie because I've been wanting to watch this. I rewatched it a while ago, I think. It's not like in my main repertoire, but it is a movie I really like. And upon picking it, I did realize it actually has a lot of like parallels to Uptown Girls with the
Huh?
like financial issues and like having to grow up and take care of yourself. The movie is drum roll please. Confessions of a Shopaholic.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I haven't seen this movie in a really long time. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought. Do you have any thoughts before we?
My first thought is I don't really like that movie.
Oh,
So I'm interested. I know. And every time you've talked about it, I'm always like, I don't like that movie. I don't like the guy. Isla Fisher's just okay. So I'm interested to see if how I feel the next time we chat about this.
I think
I
it's a
just yucked your
special
yum so
movie.
hard.
No, I think it's a special movie and has some good moments. It's not the best movie ever, but no
Have you
movie
read the book?
is. No, I haven't.
Mm,
Have you?
no, I don't think so.
Should we read it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the next movie is going to be Confessions of a Shopaholic. I feel like it's another fun Y2K movie, and we'll examine it in detail next week.
Yay, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. What are you going
Maybe.
to do
No.
with the rest of your day, dog?
Oh my gosh, I think I might go shopping.
Oh,
I feel like I'm gonna get out of the house and just go like walk through some stores and get my steps in and look at stuff.
I
I
love
think I
that.
need that on this Saturday.
That sounds lovely. I am going to get some barbecue tonight
Oh,
and go see Chess on Broadway. So I'll be
that
reporting
sounds
back on that.
fun. I love that.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm jelly. That sounds so fun.
Well,
Well,
hopefully you get some good clothes
yeah,
and
I think I'm
shopping
gonna go
in.
like home shopping. I'm gonna
Oh,
maybe like Home Goods, maybe go to Ulta, Sephora,
I
a little
love it.
skincare, a little tchotchke.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Well,
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 shout out
and
to
I love
Uptown
you.
Girls.
This was so
And
fun.
this was so fun. And if you guys have any feedback for us, let us know. But remember, we're sensitive, so make it nice.
Yes.
And we can't wait to keep talking about the movies. We talking
Yeah.
movies.
Well, if you want to see more of us or join our socials, we are on Instagram at My Sister's Favorite Movie Pod or My Sister's Favorite Movie. I can't remember which one it is. And if you want to reach out to us via email, we are at My Sister's Favorite Movie Pod at gmail.com. You can email us with your feedback or requests for different movies you want us to cover, anything like that. And yeah, is there anything we should plug?
I think the Instagram is just at My Sister's Favorite Movie. So feel
Okay.
free to follow along there. And we'll be posting and asking questions and taking feedback there. And we can't wait to keep talking about the movies. So let us know if
Yeah.
you have any requests.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, girl.
Thanks,
I'll see you on FaceTime in
girl.
5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Talk to you in 5
Okay.
minutes. Bye bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.